All right, guys. Welcome to everybody. Most people are gonna probably catch this on the replay where I say welcome to everybody, subscribers, newcomers, who all wants to check in. Um, so soon I'm gonna have hopefully put the link in here once I get it coming up on YouTube. Uh, Working on that, trying to get everything set up. There we go. Saturday Live Beat Chat. Open that up. Get that going. Okay. Nobody has it yet. Get rid of that echo. Looks like my YouTube's running a little bit behind my stream. Hey, Tim. Hi, Michael. How you guys doing today? Get down here in this chat. So I can go and do some things. Start off the initiating for somebody to come in. Okay. I'm sure Hannah's there too. Hopefully she's not drinking out that broken coffee cup. The Boston, you were well good today, huh? He said, "Oh man, I tell you what, this today I've been wanting to get out in the bees today, where it's been a little cool. I pinned the entrance link up in the top now. I was wanting to get out in the bees today, and it's been rainy and cool and sort of on the nasty side. So that was a no-go. I was going to try to check on the performance of the queen cells that I had in the boxes. One should have probably been capped this week, and the other one should have hatched already. So that's where we sit right now with those two splits that I did. Hopefully, it's not been getting a whole lot, real warm. Staying, it's staying in the 60s and 70s, which they could fly out. A queen could fly out. All right, Tim. Well, I'll look for you to come in when you get a chance. But yeah, I've been looking for a nice days. But next week I'm gonna be out of town. I gotta go to Texas. I'm gonna go visit my dad for a while. He's not been doing the greatest. They have him on palliative care right now because right now he's sitting down with well, he's healing from the pneumonia he had, but he had a small heart attack, and the doctor said there's not much they can do to correct his heart issue, and his kidneys. He's been in a degenerative disease on his kidneys, and they're not able to. They're saying they're not able to do anything about it. So he's just biding his time right now, I guess. And I want to take the chance to get out there and see him, because I don't want to be left with a regret that I hadn't taken the time to see my dad for. It's been 8 years since I've been to Texas, so it's been a while. I've talked with him, spent some, shared in what's going on with my wife and myself through the years, but I've not actually made the effort to get out there because it is such a long drive. So that's where I'm at with that, and hoping that things get better. Prayer and God can handle anything. So I think there's been a lot of things in my life I could have been regretful of. But I've taken the time to go. I went through repetitive stage with everybody I might have done something wrong with, or they done wrong to me, and went through that. So there's nothing. I wouldn't be the person I would be today if it weren't for the road that I've taken. So I'm not. That's why I'm not. I don't have the regrets. I may not. I don't approve of the things I've done in the past, but you know, uh, having that clarity and taking the time to know that I am forgiven, and I've given everybody the chance to. Hey, Keith, to take a chance to tell me or not tell me. It's all on them now. So this week isn't looking like it's well. If I have a queen in the cells hatch, I'm looking probably they could fly Wednesday or Friday of this week because it's supposed to be in the 70s. So yeah, and I have a good chance, good shot. See if they get mated. Hopefully they get mated well. And anybody wants to hit that link to come in, they can. So I don't know how many people here got to see that video, that live we did with Mrs. T with T. I actually feel that we hit on something that might be a way to uh, bring awareness to bees and beekeeping by going on her show. Uh, I see a positive, very positive um, link in that because a lot of her people she has on her show, most of them are trying to keep their own homestead, I should say. So, hey, Larry, how you doing today? So, I think we may have hit upon something, um, my lead into it was Jegs. Jegs, I started seeing him and started chatting with him off and on, and then following him into the streams that they do. Jake's always dropping on a stream. He's about like Bob, there's there with his streaming. So you know, followed him a few times, chatted with him, and beat some bee stuff every now and again in there. And Jakes would answer because people would be asking, "Well, what's that? What's that?" And Jakes would start answering, and it sort of uh, opened up an avenue I think that we all could benefit from. Uh, you know, I'm not talking about just extra views or watch time or anything else, but it's just that these uh, people out there that aren't quite understanding how working with bees are going. ADC, sort of slipped by me when I was rambling. So that's what I'm thinking. I've been contemplating on is uh, trying to do some drop-ins on other homesteaders and stuff like that. Uh, that could benefit from this, because and the bees, as far as that goes, could do better with that. So that's the precept and concept I've seen with what's been going on. We had a lot of people there, and I know a lot of the beekeepers in our community that were in there, but there's a lot of information being shared, like we always do. So Anybody want to join in? I'm talking to the chat and rambling, guys. Uh, I guess as usual I do for a while, trying to share what goes on with us. But anything to make the community grow bigger, you know. Like the bees do, they try to do everything they can for the colony. It's their sole resort is to see what goes on with how they do to make the colony grow. Well, I guess we ought to try to do the same thing with other homesteaders and try to create more beekeepers and share our experiences with new people, young people. So I'm dropping my mouse again today. Get that wired mouse, and it doesn't like my black desktop, so I have to have it on my leg. But what do you guys think about moving forward on some of the trying to bring stuff out to more channels, increase the stream. Well, not just increase the stream, but increase the awareness of beekeeping. And I'm sure 90% of the people know about beekeeping, but they don't know about beekeeping. And or we got to get the general consensus that some people always say, "Oh, I don't want to be stung." Well, it's part of the game, right? Uh, you don't always get beat up unless you do some of the stuff that I've done. Like when you shake up a whole hive, then you're bound to get stung. Because they don't like you beating up on the hive. And I'm a dingling too. I'll go and take and knock on the hive when it's cold just to see if anybody comes to the door. The guards will come to the door to check things out. That way I sort of know. I mean, I don't bang on it. I mean, I knock on the side a little bit, but I don't beat it up. But then all of a sudden you'll get a guard bee come out and just shoot right for you. I've had that happen the other day. Right between my eyes. Didn't sting me. Hey, Tom. The link is up there, guys. Anybody would like to come in. You had Tom one time, and he dropped a little bit of knowledge. Still won't tell us his little secret. I wish they'd hurry up with that about for the mites. So we see how we can knock those guys back. Take them down a notch. So, hey, Larimore, how you been doing? Your site doing any better lately? Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Michael come on a live, on a video on the stream. I've seen him in the chats, but I've never seen him. I wonder if you got a camera. Yeah, I understand some of the testing and stuff. Tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind being a tester myself. Try it out, see how easy it is compared to what's going on with the OA and all that stuff. See how effective it is. Even the AppyTab, I think, has done a good bit to knock stuff down. And I don't think mites have been a true problem of mine either, but I have opened up a hive and seen drone bees from other hives dragging a mite in to the hive. So, I mean, there's that. Or, I don't know I say hives. I don't know whether it's someone else's being a mite bomb or something, coming from a tree in the nature. Um, so I don't know, but I know we don't. All the mites that we have in our hives aren't from our hives. I'd probably say about 50% are the ones that came from our hives. The others are from, uh, passerbys, somebody who can't make it home in time to refuel. I mean, there's that. So, and being that where I sit, I've got uh, maybe three people who are in flight range of a make a drone congregation area. And I know when I got a lot of mites in mine, I'm sure they should have some in theirs because they're not that far away. I think the furthest one away is probably maybe 4 miles. I got another two of them that are within 2 miles of me. So yeah, small hive beetles. Yeah, and both of them are stressors, DC, on the colony though. And I don't think they're. I don't know if they. I can't prove. I don't know if they bring uh, anything other than infestation to your colony or the potential collapse because they lay in the food reserves. Yeah, they are a tough in the bug, but the vector. What I'm talking about is the vectors that the mite brings. I think is more of a long term disadvantage to a hive by um, potentially genetically passing a viral load on. Whereas I don't think the small hive beetle, from what I've seen, actually vectors any kind of viral load. And I may be wrong. I may be wrong. I don't know. But I don't really see. I don't have a super uh, hive beetle issue. Now I had one hive last year. It was a little more. Uh, had a little more in it, and they were a pretty strong hive, so they kept them at bay. Um, and but then again, too, I could still be in there like Bruce because I'm not far from Bruce. Granted, the yard he had issues with is in Slocum, which is a lot further away. 45 minutes to an hour away from here. Um, where he had that issue. Yeah, that DC, you can but you're talking about phoretic mite, killing some of the phoretic mites. Um, because we don't know how many get into the cells before we try to treat. You um, you get a good drop once or twice, but you don't know what are sealed up in the caps where the small. Oh, I'm not saying I don't think you're saying that, DC, at all. Uh, I'm just saying the comparison between what effects one has to the other is what I'm making my references to. Not that they're not small hive beetles are not a problem or mites are not a problem. Um, it's just that I'm talking about the long term effects of one to the other, uh, and both can kill a hive regardless. Uh, you know, one's a little bit better at evading than the other. Two is for by a long shot too. DC. And I'm not. And don't get me wrong. I'm just playing devil's advocate on this. Uh, I'm not trying to render what you're saying useless, sir. I love all of y'all, and I appreciate all of y'all. But sometimes talking like this on the streams gives me a little bit to go and research more because I don't claim to know it all. I'm just saying. When I'm talking about some of the stuff is from observations, listening to other talks, um, other streams. That is where I gather some of my information and research. Granted, I don't go into scientific litigated papers and stuff, but hey Bob, uh, you can come on too and hijack the stream too, sir. I have the link up. That's why, and I guess that's a lot of the reasons. Even though I go on stream, sometimes I don't say a lot because I'm taking stuff in. There, up in the top corner when you got line was when you log in to your StreamYard or go through StreamYard to go into another stream. There should be a blue tag up top right. You click on that, and you can stream this. You can stream while live while you're on a live. Yeah. Deal with small hive beetles. Seen a lot. Beekeepers lose hives, and that's true. That's true, DC, to a point that they seem to reoccur a lot more issues with. It seems like a lot more issues deal with small hive beetles. Hey, Mark, how you doing? If you'd like to join, the links at the top. Uh, but I haven't really looked to see how much one outweighs the other as far as hive decimation. Both are just as bad, you know, as far as that goes. DC says, "Oh, DC, Bob, you know you're my favorite." uh, I just trying to make things go on to fill in a hole with the lives. I don't know if I'm gonna have one next week because of being in Texas. I'm gonna try. Yeah, and I think the difference between small hive beetles in a lot of areas may deal with moisture and location. Is what I was getting ready to say, Bob. You know, the type of soil, the environmental conditions. Sometimes they may just be perfect and ripe uh, for proliferation of one over the other, or more so than another. Uh, that's just like beekeeping and how we treat how we do stuff with our bees. I mean, different places, the microclimate. My climate is different than yours and everybody in this room, this chat. And I think TDC, like what Larry says here about that they're both deadly, but what I see in that is with a small hive beetle. I don't think. I think that's sort of what you're getting at too. Is you really can't just kill them off. They're around. You can discourage them. We don't have anything that knocks them out like you would a mite, which I see that. And if we had something that would, because the beetles don't go into a cap cell, and they'll go into a cell and lay eggs, but it's usually food. It's not in the brood. So we don't have something, not that I know of, that we have that would kill beetles, just to discourage them, like the peppermint and and uh and some of those treatments there. It's more of a discouragement or covering, masking your hive smell so that they're not so attracted. Oh, I'm sorry, Darren. I sent out a notification about 2 hours ago that I was going to have a live at 5. So that's a pretty good rhyme. Live at 5. I'm sorry you didn't get it. So I'm sitting here floundering now, guys. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Um, the ball is, my bees have been doing pretty good. Um, like I said, I'm earlier in the stream that I'm looking for hopefully some good weather in the next week or two, so that these girls get out and go get mated. The bees, queen bees. I'd like to be where you're at, Michael. I see beetles pretty regular, but I don't see them in droves like. Uh, well, someone else down here, Bruce, he whacked that doggone frame down, and it's like they were everywhere. I was like, crap, you know. I've never seen it that bad. And I've seen a few plays, a few times in my nukes, the pro nukes. They like to get down in the bottom corner, and I've seen quite a few down there. But all I gotta do is take the nuke and swap nucleus, those pro nukes out. And hey, Grayson, how you doing? Hey, Lee, got some people joining again. Yeah, I've not personally seen a slime out or smell a slime out, Larry. I've seen videos, and it is a nasty ordeal. So I mean, I've been lucky so far, and I gotta say, it's probably luck why I haven't had the issue. Uh, and I do kill what I can see and find. Well, I'm sorry for your headache, Lee. Probably extra pollen. You ain't been eating honey like you're supposed to be. Yeah, and I have to agree with that too, DC. Um, we are the biggest components that cause issues in hives, and you know, and the mites get blamed for the possibility of a dead out, and it could be something we did. We just didn't look or prepare properly for it, or trying to beef up a hive that's on its way down out. I mean, and the mites get the blame for it because our ego won't allow us to say, "Hey, we screwed up." I mean, that's true. Don't do it, Lee. His headache comes from an injury. I mean, DC always do a lot of dumb stuff. We read something wrong in what the bees are trying to show us. Trying to get all the hard lessons out of the way, DC. I don't know. There's probably more going along down the road too. I was hoping that somebody would come in and bail me out or help me out. Oh, you've been vaping too much. There's too much nicotine. Your body's saying, "Screw that." Yeah, bees don't read books. That's true, DC. But and like Tim was showing us, and some of the stuff he reads on Sunday, in the about the people in the 17, 18, 1900s were asking the same questions we do today. They didn't have the pest we have today, but they're approaching the same issues. So it means that somewhere in 100 or 200 years, we still doing the same thing, asking the same questions. So what are we doing wrong? You know, as far as reading what the bees are showing us. Uh, so that's my question. You don't have StreamYard. It's easy to set up StreamYard. You can go with a little duck in the corner. BDC. I did for a for a while and decided I'd do where I get more people on the screen because I can't always chatter like I do. Even though I do like hearing myself talk sometimes. It's different when you got a camera at you, right, DC? Yeah, I heard you say that, Tom. Tom. Um, I think in our area, I'm more prone to have to go into the brood box more because I'm dealing with. I don't know whether they were feral when I caught the swarms or if they came from someone else's hive. But one group of them do like producing swarm cells more than the other. So that is more me going into the box to find and see if they have any cups built or started for queen cells to to make sure because I went from 2 to 10 last year. Well, actually, I had 12, but two absconded, so I ended up with 10. Uh, they produce enough cells I need to keep on top of it. Is why I go in to the brood chamber, or if I got a hive that is slacking as far as uh, no bee numbers, I'll pull eggs and cat brood. Okay, DC's bees. No. Oh, there's Bob. Bob, come to the rescue.
It's tough, man, when you're sitting in there by yourself reading the chat.
Oh, yeah, talking to the chat box.
I figured I'd come in and sit with you for a minute. I saw Tim and Hannah's talking about coming in. So everybody's talking beetles and mites, huh?
Yeah, that's what DC and I were chatting about.
I think people they talk about mites more because everybody has mites, but not everybody has beetles, right?
Well, that's true.
So, the northern climates, they might get. And when we say we've got hive beetles, we don't. If I open up a colony and there's 3 hive beetles in there, I don't even worry about them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like no hive beetles. When you open it up and you see hundreds of them running around, then it's an issue, right? And this year was much, much more hive beetles than they were the year previous. Now, the year previous, not 2023, but 2022, I was using peppermints constantly, right? Peppermint in my liquid, peppermint in my pollen patty, peppermint candies, and I didn't have a hive beetle problem. Was not an issue. The issue was me keeping the peppermints in the colony. That was the issue. So, I mean, there's definitely ways to combat them if you choose to, right? It's just how much time do you have to work your bees and be out there and continuously apply and continuously do things. One thing, I'm going to go out on a limb. One thing that I've noticed, and, it's not really hive beetle season right now, but the ones that still have Appy tablet in it, I don't see hive beetles. The ones that don't have the Appy tablet left in it anymore, I've seen some beetles in there, and they're all on the bottom boards, right? So it's kind of interesting that there could be something in there. It might be the thymol. I don't know. I just noticed that when they're on there, I don't see any. So.
Well, some of the comment I was making too is that our treatment for mites is to kill them.
Right.
Well, it only seems that the way we combat the small hive beetle is to make it not want to get in the hive or leave the hive once you start putting something in it. It's nothing that I've seen that anybody has done to eradicate them in the hive or try to like we do the mites.
It's yeah, so it's not the squeaky wheel right now, right? So if the mites get in check, then they'll start moving on to other pests, or there'll be a different pest, or something else that they're working to try to kill, because the scientists that do the research, they're not getting funded by beekeepers. They're getting funded by the government, right? The government pays the University of Georgia grants or something, right? They're the ones that are funding all that. So that's why they want to get that squeaky wheel. But here's the thing. Oh, this is a rabbit hole. So I don't want to.
Yeah.
So the thing is that they've had 20 years plus of trying to kill the mites, and they haven't figured it out. Now they know that they can use oxalic acid to kill mites, but they don't know what it is about oxalic acid that kills the mites. They don't know what in oxalic acid is killing the mites. So, it's one of those things that with, and that's, people can laugh or whatever about the Appy tablet, whatever they want to do. All I know is the less mites that are on the bees in the colony, the phoretic mites, if you will, the less that can enter into cells to reproduce, right? So if that tablet is staying on there, and even if they hatch out and come out, they're going to have to latch onto a bee, which they're going to die from eating the tablet. So that's why I like that long lasting, put it in there and let it just stay in there. It's not going to hurt the honey. you know, and just let it do its thing. With oxalic acid, I'll be honest with you. For me, I don't mind doing oxalic acid, but it's like I've got to have the time. Then I've got to have the weather correct, right? I like to do it right before it rains because they're pretty much all in the colony, a little bit warmer where they're not all clustered up. I've used Apivar. The Apivar, I don't know that it did really well for me, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. We just try to keep them down as low as we can. And what I can speak to, and it's just because of the witnessing that I've seen with the Appy tablet, is I actually saw them drop into the trace, right? I mean, that's the results. Now, if I didn't have those bottom boards on there or a sticky board or something like that they could land on, probably wouldn't have saw that. They probably would have just cleaned them out of the colony, right? But in what DC say? Yeah, the pucks, I mean, they sit in there, right? And nurse bees will nibble on them. The bees will, I mean, who's looking for food in the colony? I mean, as soon as they hatch out, the nurse bees are looking for it, right? And when there's a dearth, they'll go to eating that. I think it was Brian Coper the other night that said, well, I had the tablets in there and they didn't seem to be eating it. Well, yeah, because you've dropped 27 pounds of Hive Alive fondant on it over the winter, right? So it's the sugar. I assume it does have mint in it. Let me see if it actually, it says thymol, essential oil, and vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and sugars. So it doesn't really break them all down other than the thymol. But I would say it probably does.
I'm wondering if it might be a spearmint or something.
Could be menthol or spearmint or something. So it's interesting, you know.
Yeah, I know you said that last time I was doing that Terranov split on the Holly Hive out back.
I can't smell the mint. You can't smell the mint because of the thymol.
Yeah, one overpowers the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did notice that there weren't. I didn't notice any hive beetles in it when I shook it, which I did on the first hive.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some when I shook it, you know, on the sheet when I was trying to gather them into the hive. So I didn't pay attention to you said that, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, that is a true statement that I saw no hive beetles in the one I had
a tablet on it. Yeah, it could be a thing. Todd said the same thing out in California. He said he didn't see any in his, so I thought I would pass that on. Guys, if you're in the No Life Beekeepers Facebook group, they're doing a poll on a swarm catching Facebook page, and Phil at 33 Mile Bees added my lure in there. So if you guys would be so inclined to go in there and pick mine, I would appreciate it, because there's like 26,000 swarm people that catch swarms on there. So it would help me out, because I didn't get to go to the show and everything, and try to boost the brand this year.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier in this stream that being on Mrs. T with T was actually, I saw a lot of good benefits of that. If we could start doing more of that.
Well, I think it's bringing awareness to a different group of people, right?
That's exactly the point.
And I think it's a good idea as well. I enjoyed it. I know when I come on the streams, I have that habit of dominating the stream, right? Just because of my personality. And that's not, so a lot of times, like when you or Tim and Hannah go live, I don't pop in because I want you guys to be able to do your thing without me like taking it over, right? That's not the goal. The goal is for you to have your identity. And if I constantly come in videos and I'm constantly taking it over, then it becomes a Bob stream on Ed's channel, right? And that's and I don't want that, because that's not fair to you guys. I like to participate, but I also like to let you guys do your thing,
Yeah, and that's why I mentioned that Jags does the same thing. I noticed I started following him around when he was in a live. So he was in a live. It's usually with the homesteader side of the fence, and he does the same thing as you. He's always on a live. He's always on a stream, or he does his own, and it's nothing bad to him. Is that that's how I figured out. I started dropping in those streams and mentioned something about, hey, how your bees, Jake, and and stuff like that, and that's how I sort of started that.
Right. I found it when Sarah was on there that day, and then I started, they asked me to pop on, but I had to work, so I didn't know if I would be done in time yesterday for that or not. But I was listening the whole time until I got home, and then that's when I joined in. But
and she pulled Fred Dunn on us.
Oh yeah, pulling everything, man. She's like, got one of them, got one of these, got some of that.
Yeah. It worked out pretty good. That people,
I thought
the questions were good questions.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, Sarah just needs some confidence. She does fine. She does fine on it. Sometimes it gets hard to on these live streams to stay focused on what we're there to talk about, right? But sometimes we go off to, we might talk about pickup trucks or sawmills or something, So it's just we just enjoy what we're doing.
Yeah,
but everything, even if you're making YouTube videos, honestly, I appreciate when people watch the videos and everything. But if they say something negative, it's like, well, you don't have to watch. I mean, my thing is, if somebody is to the point, I got one guy that no matter what I put up, he's always got something to say, and it's not encouraging, it's negative, right? Like, everybody gives me crap about my smoker. I get it. But the bees that I had open at first, they were not mean. They were not aggressive, right? The ones that I was shaking into the box and everything. But he's like, well, a smoker works wonders. Well, no shit, Batman. This is not my first rodeo. You know what I mean?
Well, I even made the comment, no pod Bob.
Yeah, I have a tripod though. But here's the problem I have with the tripod. All right, so I've got this GoPro on a little tiny tripod, right? But I have a big tripod that holds the thing. But the problem is, when you set it up and you pick up a frame and you take it up to look at it, well, nobody can see anything but the top of the box and not even your head or nothing. Or you walk off and you go to shake something off and the pod's just sitting there looking at nothing, right? So that's why I try to hold the camera, is so I try to make it where you can see what I'm looking at and what I'm doing. I know it gets a little motion sickness and stuff like that, but I've got a tripod. I've got two tripods and I've got this little tripod. It's just, a lot of times I'm out there and I'm like, well, I'm going to do this. Well, that might make good content. Let me just go live. And that's how it goes,
Yeah.
Use the tripod, Bob. Use the tripod.
I'm going to do it, and I'm going to point it straight so it's just looking off into the sunset. And I'm going to be over there talking, and y'all won't be able to see what I'm doing.
Well, if I remember right, sometime back, you did use a tripod. I think it was a little one, maybe. But me and DC was yakking about this. You put it too far away.
See, when you use a tripod, then there's another problem. Oh, well, you can't hear you now. And then you then you spend $100 on the mic for your thing here, And then it's like, oh, you're too loud now. it's always something.
His hand in the cookie jar because he still had like his age, DC.
Mm-mm. It's been I just been cutting up all day, DC.
Oh,
he was fanning backstage.
Hey!
he was.
Look at Larry. Larry said, "Haters gonna hate." That's true. I mean, that's gonna be my new song. That's gonna be my intro. Haters gonna hate.
But I did see something though. Since you're talking about tripods, and I'm kind of scared to waste the money because I don't know if it's worth it or not. But I think I saw it on Amazon the other day. But there's this tripod setup that like you actually plug your phone into the tripod, and
Oh,
it's
really?
a motion sensor, and it will follow you. But you have
Really?
to set like calibrate it to your face or something, like set it up and let it get focused or whatever. But
It might take a
it was
while.
supposed to spin like 180 degrees or something. And I was like, I wonder if that really works.
We're going to Amazon it real quick.
So yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Give me a
I've got
minute, guys.
fun.
I gotta go do something real quick.
You can't leave. It's your stream.
It's your
Charlie?
show.
Take it on. It froze on me.
It froze on him anyway. There he
No,
goes.
but he gone. All right, Bob, take it away. It's
It's
on
not my
you.
stream.
It's not our stream tonight either.
Hey,
Yeah, I
wait,
was gonna do one later tonight, but this one might be it.
You're late.
No
late,
AI
late.
in the bee yard. Be my luck, it'd be like going off with the bees, all different directions where they were flying.
what do you got? An iPhone, Bob, or an Android?
Android.
Tripod for cell
Oh,
phone.
okay.
I didn't even read the review. Yeah, auto face tracking tripod, 360-degree rotation for $30.
Really?
But
Ain't
I
bad.
didn't read the reviews or anything, so I don't know if they're any good or not. But I was like, Tim likes dropping the phone so much, we'll just keep going like we're doing. Yeah, he will.
Yeah, you'll be got me wanting to buy one myself.
Larry says they're gonna have good weather next week. We're supposed to have good weather next week too.
Ooh, it's supposed to be springtime weather, y'all.
It's
Just
cold
beautiful.
right now, though. Like it got cold last
It's supposed to
night.
get down to like 30 degrees tonight.
Yeah, you northern folks, come get your cold air.
DC said no AI in the bee yard. I kind of agree with you, DC.
Well, they don't like the camera anyways, or the microphones. They are all over them.
Yeah, they attack it pretty steadily there at my place. But it's the GoPro. The problem I have with this GoPro is it's the 360 one. So I could take a photo and you could spin it like if it was just photo, you could spin your mouse and look all the way around.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it likes to record like it's sideways, even though it's not sideways. So I don't know. I haven't been able to get that figured. So in editing, I have to switch it. But if I used it for live, it wouldn't work. Oh, he heard my
Oh, he
voice.
heard Bob's voice.
Jasper, what are you doing, boy?
He's happy.
He said, I want some biscuits. Mama made homemade biscuits. Hannah made a video a while ago, y'all. So
On
did.
biscuits? A solo biscuit making video?
Yeah, I was on camera by myself the whole. Well, no, Jasper did come on with me because him and Stella got the first biscuit as taste testers.
But now, did you cut it with the glass?
No, I kind of told a little bit of that story in the video, but I had this little biscuit cutter that's literally older than I am. My mama made biscuits with that thing for 40 years, and she gave it to me a few years ago. So I use that no matter what. So we make baby biscuits.
it's honey butter. How she does the honey butter and biscuits. Good old Southern homemade biscuit.
I had to do the video for Philip since he called me out in his honey testing video.
Look
Or
at
honey tasting video.
Jasper's a star.
Oh yeah, he's like,
He's
"Ooh,
looking like dead in the camera too.
Hey, let me
Jasper, what are you doing?
Let me tell you all this. We put out 2 shorts today. All right. The first one we put out was the carving knife and getting the queen cells off, which is an excellent way to get them queen cells off. Well, a few minutes later, I got to rummaging through trying to just find something else we had stuck back, and I was like, oh, well, here's Jasper whenever he was a little puppy. Well, put it on there. After we got done eating, I went to look. Jasper's videos got more views on it.
Then Tim said his feelings hurt.
Yeah, I was like, man,
Just make Jasper videos.
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm just about to make him his own channel.
Oh, I bet you it would. There would be people that would blow that channel up. You'd be surprised. Then it would really make you feel bad that the dog doesn't talk at all.
We do.
Yeah,
The dog doesn't talk at all. It's got more subs. It's monetized. You just be filming Jasper all day long.
yeah. It only took
talk about the devil. Talk about the devil. There's Jags and Sarah. Both
Everybody coming
popped
in.
in.
What'd you say, Jay?
You tell him
Sarah?
to come on in.
Come on, Bo. We'll talk bees too.
The chat keeps freezing on my phone. DC says spoiled dog every time Jasper lands in his chair.
Oh, he's right.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a video of Jasper when he was a pup, and I was like, when I saw that one, I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, you just about hold him in one hand. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That wasn't long ago.
No, he's only 6 months old or 7 months old.
Because right before we done our what was it? Was it the 500 giveaway?
Yeah, it was the night we did our 500 sub giveaway that somebody dumped him out in our driveway. Yeah, Lee, I'm not even sure you could hold him anymore, man.
Oh, you
He's
have to-
like almost as big as me now.
He's a good 70 pounds now. No problem.
I'm gonna grab a drink.
Yeah.
Thought he was gonna be. Oh, hey, Lisa. I didn't think her come in here.
Lisa can pop in if she wants to. Sarah.
Real. Lisa told me she was gonna start coming on lives more, so I wouldn't be the only girl in the room all the time.
Yeah, Sarah or Lisa could join to help you out, Hannah.
Absolutely. She's making dinner. I had to do that early tonight because somebody wanted hot biscuits today.
Yeah, that's what we were doing, trying to get before we come in. I'll keep going, Ed. I'm gonna finish this plate of food.
He was stuffing his face till he keep going until I get there.
Yeah, shoveling it in, huh?
Oh yeah, he killed that plate of pork chops and gravy.
Hey, kind of going back a little bit. While we was eating, we was hearing y'all talk about the beetles and dealing with all that.
Mm-hmm.
And folks, the ones of you that's kept up with us, y'all know the infestation we dealt with. But since doing I seen DC tell Grayson to go check out that short we done. But when Earl was telling us to use the peppermint extract, all we done, Earl is 100% on the peppermint. We just got 0.5%.
All we changed was the eucalyptus, but
added it in there, and we just shake it up and go down there.
But man, it has eradicated our beetle problem.
Yes.
Like we don't have a beetle problem anymore, thanks to Earl telling us about that.
Well, that's what we were talking about with the Appy tablet. The Appy tablet colonies, I don't see hive beetles in any of them.
That's what you were saying.
And then in the one that, like, the Appy tablet's been gone a while, I do see a few in there. Not a lot, but I mean a few.
Now, when did you come to Biloxi?
I came to Biloxi first week in November, right?
Okay, so
I can't
December,
remember. It
January,
said 3 months, 3.5 months.
about 3.5 months. And we got them tablets from you there, I think it was. But anyhow, as soon as we got them from you, we stuck them on, and for a minute, they just wouldn't touch them. But when we was talking to you the other day, they're just now chewing on them things real good. So
Well,
I
there's a
don't know.
little bit of nectar coming in, but not a lot, right? So
Yeah. Well, when I popped the inner cover on Little Valentine down there a couple of days ago, they're starting to draw new comb. There's a whole bunch of new burr comb on the top. And yes, they are backfilling. So there's a little bit of something going on. Now we've seen the red buds out. Don't know if that's what they're really kind of pulling on to get a good nectar, because we haven't seen any kind of privet, anything like that. But we have a couple of tie here in the yard, and they are starting to put off beautiful little their blooms, and before too long they kind of look like a tassel on those tallow.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if some are ahead a little bit and they're finding those or what, but it ain't be long.
No, Jake was just asking, so should I plant mint at the bottom of my hives? Now, we tried that. We got little peppermint and spearmint plants and planted them like right under the boxes on the front side. And honestly, we really couldn't tell where it did anything to keep the beetle population down. But putting the extract, peppermint extract, and eucalyptus oil in the hives is what was the game changer for us. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe if you plant a bunch of it around your beehives, it might do something more to help. So I think we only did like 4
4 of
or
each.
something.
Yeah, spearmint and peppermint we planted. And it will come back now when it dies off. Like ours are starting to try to push back up again. And Jay, you being in Georgia, you still have that subtropic climate for the most part too.
Mhm.
So they should come back year after year for you.
Yeah.
And they will pull a nectar off of it if you have enough of it.
So, but as far as what enough would be for the plants to do something, I have no idea. But I know that the 4 plants we did really didn't make a difference. So,
I'll just give y'all my crazy theory of thinking of it, and y'all can just kind of take it where you want to on it. But we're still 100%, and we're going to do this. We're still 100% on putting the candies in there, but just not as often as we were, because we do like the fact that, like Earl was saying, it's good for the bees' guts, and they do store it. So apparently, it is something that they need, and they stick back for
yeah,
safekeeping.
because you'll see it in the cell.
yeah, you'll see it in there, right? The white and red, and
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you'll see it right around the brood.
well, and
Right
see,
around
and
the
I'm
brood.
wondering if that has an effect on those beetles getting in that pollen right around the brood, right?
It may very well. Because, I mean, like, even when we made our own pollen patties, that we put a cup, I think it was, of crushed up peppermint candies in the pollen patty, and we never had a beetle in that stuff at all. Because we were kind of nervous because everybody was saying, don't put pollen patties on this time of year because it's just a breeding ground for beetles if you do that. But we never saw one.
And that's the other thing. So I've had pollen patties in with the Appy tablet,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not getting any beetle larvae or anything in my pollen patty.
Mm-hmm.
The big telltale that's going to solidify every bit of it, and especially on our end, we started doing the extract and the eucalyptus mix around end of June, of this past year.
Hmm.
And, you know, we went through and each time we was in there, we done it. Now it's about once a week for about 4 weeks. Hannah would run a good heavy bead in there. August, we didn't even crack a lid on the bees.
And we were nervous because that's like the worst time of year for beetles down here.
And now we had 3 colonies out there, and I don't want to say the gentleman's name yet because he's trying it, and everybody knows this man, but I want him to be able to say, okay, yeah, it worked or not. But we had 2 queen right, and we had 1 colony that I don't know, they had got poisoned, and I think it had killed off the queen in there, but there was still a small little cluster. And they stayed queenless until this freeze that hit us in December when it got 16 degrees. They died out then. But we kind of left them to the wolves, if you will.
Right.
Because we knew if something's going to get in there and infest, that's going to be the first bunch right there to go, because they don't have the numbers to keep them about, you know, keep them off and all that. Well, y'all, this is gospel. And I think it's in one of our last longer videos. We popped that lid on that queenless colony, and we've been doing this peppermint and eucalyptus for a couple months. There was not a beetle one in there. All right, y'all go back to some of our very first videos and see what kind of beetle issues we had. Then whenever we got into them this past September, like I said, it'd been a full month before, and we didn't even touch them. September rolls around, get in the horizontal and get in that lane straw, and we just knew as soon as we rolled it back, they was just, y'all know how it is, them jokers that go everywhere. Not a beetle one in either colony.
Mm.
So
DC, whoops, sorry.
no, you go ahead.
DC's question. No, I didn't crush them up. When I mixed my pollen patties, I used peppermint extract in my pollen patties last year.
That's pretty good one, Brian. Now here, with all that being said, let me get to my point of my crazy thinking. Many of y'all folks are hunters. Whenever you go out to that stand, or whether you go sit down in a tree and hunt, what is one of the things that you have with you when you go out there to hunt? You've got a cover scent. That way that deer or whatever you're hunting can't smell you. I think with that peppermint, the liquid peppermint extract and eucalyptus being in there, it's just my theory, that it creates a cover scent. Them beetles have no idea what a honeybee box or hive looks like. I think that the beetles are attracted more to the smell of the colony, and they go in and go, okay, hey, look, here's a good colony we can move into right here, make a family, so on and so forth. But if they can't smell it, there's no reason for them to go into that box. Now, that's just my theory.
There's the man working out.
Hey, Earl.
I tried to call Earl back today, and I didn't get him. We just were playing tag today.
We talking peppermint extract and eucalyptus, Earl.
So I did get a notification that my sample jackets will be here on the 22nd. The problem is that I'll be in Canada on the 22nd. So they'll be here when I get back. So
somebody over there to pick them up.
Yeah, my daughter will pick them up from the front. And we'll see what we got.
Yeah, so that was the whole comment I was making earlier in comparison to one pest versus the other. We're only causing a scent that they don't want in their environment, and they're not going in there because of that. We're not actually killing them.
I know Tim smelled the slimed out colony. You can smell it when you come into the yard. You know, right? It's a strong smell. And I think that strong smell actually attracts more beetles in there too. You might be onto something there, Tim. for
Yeah.
sure. Now, there's a
Y'all-
fine line between masking the colony scent for hive beetles and masking that colony scent for queen pheromone too. So
Yeah.
if you put it
Well-
too strong,
That was one thing too that I may have been talking to Earl about this the other week, but Sunday before last, we read a little bit through the Bee Journal, and I didn't read this until the actual live. But whenever the fellow was talking about trying to find the black queens from what was the bunch, Carniola, I think it was. They're so hard to locate because
Yeah.
they're so dark. Well, they said now this was 1893 roughly. But what he would do, and other beekeepers as well, those virgin queens, he would hold that queen in his hand, and she'd mosey around and kind of do an orientation right there. But guess what they put on the front of that box to let that queen know it was home? It was peppermint. They'd rub peppermint on that box, and that queen would know, okay, this is home. And whenever she went out for her mating flight, boom, boom, come back, they would home in on that one box.
well, I've had them like in the back where I had my 2 frame mating nukes. Queen fly out, and I would come back, and there'd be a cluster on the hive stand, cluster of bees, and a queen where she got kind of lost and just landed right there. So there definitely could be something to that. Not
Like I
being
said,
able to find a way.
Stop.
I'd just about say 100% that has remedied our problem. But once we get into spring and those things really start ramping up like they do, then
Tom,
I'll be able to come in here.
I can't show comments. Tom said a hive tool works good for killing hive beetles. You haven't dealt with the hive beetles like we've dealt with them. You can't
I was
smash
gonna
them.
say, there is no way.
They're in the
But
There's
combs,
too many of them.
out of the combs and
professional
running
could
all
not
over. It
with that tool.
Hey, that's what caused us to create the original Beetle Vac 5000.
Because we literally, you could not move fast enough to smash them.
I mean, that was
Yeah,
the best.
they go multiple directions once they hit something.
It's like stepping on a fire ant bed. They all over the place, and it ain't just one or two.
Yeah, it is kind of like stepping on a anthill, right? Where they're
It's
just
worse.
kind of everywhere. Or we call them down here ant piles. Y'all call them ant piles down there too?
Just old ant bed.
Ant beds, yeah.
Because they're like tiny mountains down here.
Lord, yeah. Now, with that being said, we've heard from a local beekeeper that it's good to keep them fire ants around your bees because they will.
They will keep the sugar ants out.
Yep.
I had no idea. But like when I was growing up, my best friend, her dad was a beekeeper for a lot of years. So when we started having the issue of sugar ants getting in our hives in the rainy season, I called her. I was like, bro, what is your dad doing? Like, please help us here. And she said, literally, all he ever did was find fire ant beds in other parts of the yard and just move them over by the beehive. Because they don't care anything about the honey. So they're not going to go in the hives, but they'll keep the sugar ants away.
But you got to watch where you step when you're working your bees.
Yeah.
Light you up.
Yes,
They'll
sir.
light you up.
Yes, sir, they will.
You'd rather them bees get on you than them little things.
Lord, yeah. The bees is easy to get off of you.
Well, the sting leaves a lot quicker too.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought was funny the other day about with that being on Mr. T with T. They were talking about, oh, I don't want to get stung. You know, well, it's not a bad thing.
That's what I was
No.
trying to tell them, y'all. It's not as bad as you think it is. Like it's really not, unless they hit a nerve. One got me on the elbow, like your funny bone nerve one time, and that one did hurt.
I used to not wear anything but just a pullover veil, right? That just went under my arms until I figured out that it was kind of like playing honeybee Powerball out there. You might get nice one, bam, done, lit up. So I decided to just wear it.
I will say now, I hope this don't discourage, if any of the body's watching on that, new beekeepers, please don't get discouraged on this. Get into beekeeping, you'll love it. But some of them little girls are a little hotter than others. Now, I've had some sting me to where, you just kind of brush it off and ain't much to it. Then I've had some of them pop me and you go, good grief.
Feel like they're drilling a hole in your arm.
Yeah, some of them really trying to get it in. I mean, they're through blue jeans, but
Then it's for you.
I expect to get stung, and then when I don't, it's like, oh, it's a good day. No problem in the bee dirt.
What was we doing out there that night? We was doing something at nighttime and thought it would be a better time to do this.
We were changing a bottom board, and he
at night.
At night. I'll give you 3 guesses where that was.
And she looks over here at him.
Middle of that, they tore me up.
They crawled up the britches leg, and buddy, when they found skin, they tore our tails up.
It was horrible. I told, forget this. I am done. I'll come out here in the daytime. It was pitiful.
Yeah, it's amazing how they will find one little spot to get in somewhere, and then that's where they go.
And it won't be just one; it'll be multiple ones trying to get in it.
Where the skull meets the spin.
Yeah. Oh, I could have pinched him so hard that night.
I have to admit on that one, that was a bad decision.
Yeah,
going up there and doing that.
That was a hard lesson to learn, but I did learn it.
Y'all know how it is. It was one day, well, we'll go out there real quick. It won't take just a second, and we'll be right back. No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Beekeeping at night is for the birds, yeah.
And I bet you he was using a white flashlight too, wasn't he?
I didn't think we had a light.
I don't think
That
we
was another
using
reason we were bumbling around in the pitch black dark, bumping into stuff.
You could probably oxalic acid treat them at night.
Yeah, that'd be a good time to do them. You got everybody in there.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not trying to drill a hole in the box that you're going to do it first. But the bees actually, the last few days have been pretty nice. The one when I was live the other day, it was kind of not liking it, but I went back out later, lifted the whole top box off, and put a box of drawn honeycomb out of it that I took out of the extractor, and then put the medium back on top. Hopefully they'll get some of that sweetness in them from that honey that's left in there.
Well, that's why they didn't bother. They had something good coming. They had a treat.
Yeah, I got them hooked up now. Hopefully they get to work because I need some of their resources.
Do you talk sweet to them whenever you open the box, Bob, or you just?
No, I don't have time to talk to them. I'm talking to y'all mostly when I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm talking to a camera. I'm not talking to the bees.
Hey, Carl, don't knock it though. That bee venom, it really can help your joints a lot. Keith said it's good for wrinkles, but I always used it for my joints.
Was that you talking in Miss T's live about it? It makes your skin puff out when they put it in makeup.
It's like nature's Botox. And if you have to look for the price of bee venom, if you could successfully harvest it every few days, the powdered bee venom is, where's it at?
It's crazy for an
100
ounce.
milligrams. 100 milligrams is $20.
Oh, yeah.
And well, I think that's actually a cream for $20. 1 fluid ounce of cream, $20. Let's see if I can find some other. Pure bee venom powder, anti-aging acne. You rub it on your skin, $175.
Shoot,
It's expensive.
that's unreal.
How much is? What is the weight on the powder?
Let me click on it and see if it's got a price on it. 2 grams.
2
2
grams.
$175. 5 grams,
Holy.
$400.
You can get some money on it. That's for
1
sure.
gram is $95, and you have to pay $4.42 for delivery. So $100 a gram, basically what you're paying. That's like cocaine prices.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You beat me to it.
Why do you know that, Bob?
Well, I did live in the 80s. That's all I'm saying. I will neither confirm nor deny any allegations. No, I've never done that.
I don't say nothing either.
Powder up.
Back in the day.
But that's, yeah, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot.
How
of
much is
money.
a bee venom collector?
Yeah.
You can get a 1-panel one for, I think, $300-$400.
Oh,
Well,
But-
what do you think?
It's a piece of glass, right? They sting this glass and leave the venom on there, and then it dries, and then you use a razor blade and scratch up the powder off the glass, and then you collect it, and then
Yeah,
put it back out there and do it all over again. You just keep collecting it.
it produces a frequency that they dislike and ticks them off, and they have to come out and sting it.
It must be my voice that must be at the same frequency because they.
Now I watched a video of some fellas over there down in, where was they at? South Africa, I think, down in there somewhere. And that's what they was doing. They was taking them little panels
Mhm.
and sitting up in front of them colony. And buddy, when they crunked that joker up, they were going all kind of crazy.
Yeah, there's like one controller box that you can get that runs multiple panels, so you can run the controller box on like several colonies, and it agitates them. I don't know if they got it on Amazon. Let me see if they got it over on the Zon here.
Don't try to be working them when you got that frequency going. But then again, you might be able to because they're getting ticked
Well,
to
they
death.
say,
They're not going to
from
bother you.
everything that I've watched, you can't collect it like multiple. You got to give them a break in between. So apparently, they're $400 for a 1 collector and $688 for a double collector. Let me see. Full set electronic bee venom collector, $800. So not cheap. But how many grams do you have to sell at $100 a gram? Tom says the past days.
Oh. Or who can you get to buy it from you? You know?
Oh, there's places. There's all kinds of ladies that are doing like cosmetics, and they'll use that in there, very little bit per thing there. And some people actually take it as in a capsule form.
Huh. I don't know how that'd be for your stomach. All that venom in your stomach.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not a high dose. It's a very little dose to
Oh,
take.
okay.
But like there's bee venom facelift cream, and what it's designed to do is that bee venom is going to agitate the skin, irritate it, and cause it to swell up, right? So it can't be a whole bunch in there.
So it causes like basically a histamine reaction in the skin.
Be my luck, I'd break out all red and swell up like Mike Tyson punched me in my face. That's what it would be like.
DC says, check out the propolis prices.
The buzz beekeepers, right? We should have a special show on like Saturday night late. Bees and beer.
Beer belly beekeepers.
Bee Belly Beekeepers Association. This,
DC says bee venom is being researched. Turns out it kills cancer.
Yeah, it's supposed to. That's what I've read some stuff on that too. So let's see,
So that's the thing about bees that really attracted me, is the fact that there's so many avenues of income that could be created by raising bees. You know, that's because you got all the byproducts that they create are used or needed. You know,
right.
It's not just you're raising livestock and that's the end of it. You know,
There's not a well, that's the thing. It's like bees. You use every single thing out of the colony. You can use it pretty much. It's let's see. We're gaining votes over here. We're gaining votes.
Board beekeeper beer time.
We need plenty more.
That's DC's vote for what you call it.
They got 25. We only got 8. No, I'm sorry. We got 6 votes, guys. We can do better than that. Over there on that stream. He's back.
Tim dropped and he's back.
He's pushing all kinds of buttons, y'all.
We froze. We could still hear y'all, but it drives me crazy not being able to, I guess, see what's going on. So I was like, let me hit the button.
Yeah, so did you see that one, Bob? DC's vote for what to call that late night one. It's called Board Beekeepers Beer Time.
Board Beekeepers Beer Time.
It's that No Life Beekeepers.
That's it, man. I don't drink that much, really. I mean, once in a while I'll have some, but mostly don't.
I think I drank something at Christmas the last time I drank anything. I was thinking about making some mead next year. What was that, Tim?
Well, just real quick, if it's all right with you, Ed, give a shout out. And the brother is in here in the chats, but I gotta say, Lee, that was a solid thing you done for DC. That's awesome.
I
What you
can't
done
wait
for
to start
DC?
seeing DC come in streams.
That's what we like about you. Like I said in the comment, one of the things we respect about you. You out helping folks. You're doing it just because you want to. You love the community, and just gotta say that was awesome. What you did to help DC.
Can
I
I
have to agree with that.
Can
Go
you
ahead.
reset what the vote is for? I think that you can, if you're looking at the poll, you can click the poll like a different thing and it'll change your vote. I'm pretty sure because Keith Spillman changed his vote. So what happens, right? Somebody like Philip, 33 Mile Bees, added my swarm lure to the list that was there. So some people didn't like my option. The option for my lure wasn't on there, so they were only voting off of what was already there. So, like Keith went and changed his to mine. So hopefully just trying to get a respectable thing. It's on, the Book of Faces. If you're in the No Life Beekeeping chat, it's a different group that's actually holding it. It's a swarm catching group, but it's definitely. I just want to. I'm not expecting to be the number one because we know who the number one that's been out there forever. But it'd be nice that 26,000 member swarm catching group at least knows there's an option out there, right?
What, lemongrass? Look at him now, man.
The one with no lemon but smells like lemon?
There is no lemon in it.
I know, that's why I said that.
I actually had someone send it back from Amazon, said that smells just like lemongrass. Doesn't mean it's lemongrass.
No, it just has a smell of lemongrass. So is it you, the feller you was having problems with, I imagine? And
well, I'll give you the options. Oh, there's Mr. Larry trying to join. Let me go ahead and pop over and give that approval without any thought. Boom. So it's here's lemongrass, swarm commander, none of the above, brood comb, which brood comb, I don't look at that as an attractant, right? That's something you put in your swarm trap anyway.
Yeah, so, that helps it lock them in, but that's about it.
And then mine. So mine's the last one added, right? So it's got the lowest. Well, it's not the lowest percentage, but of lemongrass, swarm commander, brood comb, and mine has the lowest percentage right now.
Okay.
But it's only been up there 2 hours.
Too nice for my own good.
And then the thing is, if these 39 people are clicking on the link, it's asking them to join the group, right? Mm-hmm. And then they got to get approval in the group to get added. Then they can poll on it. So there's a little bit of a process, but I just want respectability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just be in the top there. That would be nice. Above lemongrass would be better in my opinion, but there's some people are just like, I just use lemongrass. That's all I'm going to use, but whatever.
Well, you know how it is, though. Some folks have been using a product for something forever, or whether it's a product or an oil.
Right.
And a lot of folks don't want to, I guess, change because they may not know the outcome. So
right.
That may be where a lot of people are like, I don't know. Oh, so-and-so's worked good for me these last 10 years. But you have had bigger name people on YouTube use your product. Mr. Ed, he was hitting it last year down there.
Mike Berry, Joey Rawls.
You got some good names out there pushing your product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, didn't Joey just put a video?
He just put one up today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did today. Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that it's most of the people in this other group aren't a part of this community, right? They don't know, they're not privy to the information, right?
Yeah.
So they're going off of, Swarm Commander's the number one. That's the best one. Well, that's the only one, right? So we're trying to make a little dent in their ecosystem, just a little one. I mean, it was enough for them to send me lawyer letters and stuff, so must be doing something right. If a company gets worried enough about your product that they start legal representation, you're on the right track.
Stay in there with them, Bob. Stay on it.
Lee. He said, DC, there may or may not be another package coming to you.
Let me ask y'all this.
Oh, it might be a camera excuse going away.
Do y'all notice that there's not as much help on that social media platform as far as people trying to help folks versus being in here in YouTube?
Well, we try to do it in our group, right? We try to help over there, but a lot of the groups, I noticed that if you put something up in one of their, and it's contrary to what one of the admins think about it,
They'll shut you down. They'll shut you down.
They'll just remove the post, right?
I mean, that's what I'm thinking, y'all. I mean, okay, if you're telling folks to go out there and pour gasoline on the hive and they'll flourish, that's one thing. But if you, I mean, I'm just talking crazy, but just along those lines, you're telling people things that ain't going to work. But if you have something that works, I don't get why people ain't willing to. It's just like folks ain't willing to help out as much on that platform.
He said, "Butt hurt is strong" on Facebook.
Yeah, there's her right.
So, butt hurt is strong on Facebook, right?
Seriously.
Yeah, it's So I mean, I like our community, the No Life Beekeeper Check, because it's just like this: people just posting up stuff and talking and whatever. That's fine.
First Amendment is alive here.
That poll is not, it's posted in our group, but it's from another group, right? The other group has 26,000 members in it. So just my lure name on there, if it gets a little bit of a bump up the spectrum there, I think people at least will look at it and maybe give it a try.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a good way to do some free advertising by all means and get it out there quick to folks.
Mr. Later said commercial guys don't share their secrets.
I mean,
it's not so much that they don't share their secrets, it's just that they
don't have time to get on social media.
Yeah, and very arrogant.
At least around here they are.
I just don't take to that well. We had that happen to. There's a big commercial guy here in Alabama. He's up in North Alabama, and we had put something on the Alabama beekeepers thing. I don't know, last year. And buddy, I opened that joker up, and whenever I seen where he had cussed me, no. You talk about
very, very rude.
Yeah, Mister. I get you have an opinion, but don't go to cussing me with your opinion. I'll come back at you just quick. But
take a deep breath.
It still fires me up.
I can see that. You don't have to scream at Bob and Ed about it.
But I'm just saying, you don't just because you're a commercial guy.
Going further and further up here.
But you don't have to be that person. You could just say, I disagree with you.
This is
That's
what
it.
you shouldn't do.
Do not cuss me. I'm done.
I don't know if I can put a link on your thing here, but Jeg is asking a question there, and so
I stuck it in there. That's not. I didn't even actually make a link for me.
Yeah, it's www.bewares.co or Amazon. You can get it on Amazon.
Now, we threw your lure in the truck the other day and took it up to the orchard and reloaded the box we put in last year. And which, I mean, most of y'all know that's with us. We had a terrible year as far as any swarms or anything, but we reloaded it probably about a week ago with the swarm rustler. So hopefully,
you got to be checking it out. Well, you noticed last year that when you put it in there, they started checking it out right away.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't end up catching anything on it.
Yeah,
can.
it
But
was,
then, I mean,
Yeah, I've had them checking it out though too, but I've never had anything light in it.
But there's so much, and this is the thing that I try to explain to people. And some people think just because they spray a lure in there that they're going to catch a swarm, right? And it don't matter what it is. If it's lemongrass or Swarm Commander or my lure, doesn't mean you're going to catch one. Because first off, how big's the swarm? Is it going to fit in the box that it's trying to get into, right? They're going to send the scouts. If you ever watched the Honeybee Democracy, right, where they explain how bees are actually picking the colonies, like they were on an island and they let these hives swarm, and they set up several traps in different locations, and then they had marked the scouts, and they were determining where the scouts were flying and trying to determine what made them pick one spot over another spot, right? Maybe they just like the old comb better. Maybe there's more propolis in that box. Maybe it's the attractant. All the attractant's supposed to do, and Keith's got it right. It's just getting them to see the box, getting them to come to the box. Whether they stay or not, or whether they like it or not, has nothing to do with the lure. It has to do with the box and the setup. But if you get them to it and they like all that other stuff, then there's a good chance they're going to stay.
that is a very interesting video. Pastor Larry sent us the link to it, and we watched it a couple weeks back. And it was amazing how they took and figured out they would watch that bee in there and how she would map that box out.
Mhm.
Go this way, that way, do this, leave, come back. Then she'd go a little bit more around that box and all. But one of the good kickers I got out of it, especially if you watched it pretty close all the way to the end, and this is a spoiler alert, but they're on the island.
Yep.
And they're trying to do. Then that one swarm goes to the man's house that is grumpy and will shoot anybody pretty much that comes onto his property, and they were scared to go tell him, say, hey, we got to get these bees back.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, with the whole thing, though, it showed how all the scouts would fly out, then they would come back, and then they would all kind of go to each location, and then they would come back, and they would all together decide that which one they were going to. So it was really
Which one had the happiest dance?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
And they were all baited up the same, right? They had 4 traps. They were all baited up the same, but the bees decided where they were going to go. That was quite interesting. But I don't know if y'all remember the live stream where Jason for Bohemia Bees came on, and he he was doing that side-by-side comparison of swarm catching, and he was using dead queens in alcohol and on one box and mine on the other box. And mine was killing compared to the queens in alcohol, and which really surprised me because I didn't know which was which, right? It was a blind. Small logo, big logo is how he was doing it.
Well, can you...
And then he flipped the boxes around to make sure it wasn't a location preference. He flipped them around and mine still was catching. Matter of fact, I would dare say in watching the videos that when he came back to look at them and there was one in my box and there was one in his box, and he said he hadn't been out there in a few days, I would have said, if you would have emptied the one out with mine in it, you probably would have caught another one in mine. But the only other one there was the other one, right? So this one was full. The only other one was the other side. Chris down there in Charleston, he set up, and I was kind of scared at first, I'll be honest with you, when I put it out. And he used 4 different swarm lures: lemongrass, Swarm Commander, mine, and I forget what he said he used another one. but it was like 4 different ones. And he said the only one that was catching them was mine, so he just sprayed mine in all of them. And he caught a bunch of them. Now, what's that mean? I don't know. Take it for what it's worth. It worked. Does that mean it works better? Not necessarily. Maybe they just liked the way he had set up. Maybe he just got a bunch of swarms happening in his area. Don't know. But
Can you on that poll? Is it just a vote, or can you comment in there as well?
just
Because if you can leave a comment, go to that link in there to kind of maybe help, say, hey, here's a visual, and my product has been tested.
someone just posted in No Life Beekeepers. This seems to be a copycat of the original and still the best product for attracting swarms, Swarm Commander. And they're in the group, and they dropped the link for Swarm Commander in there.
We'll drop the link for your stuff in there and say, well, come on and get the copycat.
He's got one mutual friend, Mac. Tom Mack.
Oh, Tom.
Oh, God.
What kind of folks you running with, Tom?
Grow up.
I'm just
Well, here's
asking
what's
on-
going to happen to that. I'm going to hide that comment or remove that comment.
Not on my watch.
Yeah, I just pulled it. I just pulled it up and see it. I seen it too.
Thing is, here's the difference.
Hey,
Mine's
do you
pharmaceutical grade stuff. His is for he was in the
tell me
what
when
you
you
call
want
it there, the perfume industry supposedly.
Okay. Bear with me. I'm gonna go to the Book of Faces, see if I can figure out what you're talking about there. Well, I'm gonna check out the poll. What'd you say? Lemongrass is what you wanted? I'm just kidding, bro.
I know. Hey, I gotta go to the restroom. I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah, lemongrass, huh?
All right. It's in the No Life Beekeeper.
I don't see the poll itself. I see where they made that comment under was there.
Hmm. How long ago was it? Well, you said you don't see it either, Ed?
No, I don't see it. I don't know how long ago the poll was posted.
I see where Bob posted his Swarm Rustler.
Yeah, the very top one when you go in there should be the one that had that comment with had the Swarm Commander in it, but he removed that comment.
Okay.
Because it has Tim
I don't know.
McCandless and
I've never
Matt
seen him in
Avery.
one of our chats, so I don't know. I don't know who he is.
All right. What's the page name that it's the 23,000 people?
First, join our group, No Life Beekeepers.
We're in. We are a top contributor.
Then there's a poll in there that Philip showed.
Phil Kent.
Okay. It says y'all better get over and vote.
Yeah, you click on that and you're going to have to answer a question, I think. But I don't know that guy, John Rose. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm doing it myself, looking at it. Oh, my request is pending.
Yeah, they have to approve it and everything.
So you got to answer the question first before they let
Yeah,
you in?
you answer a question, then they approve you to get in, then you can vote on it.
Are you a swarm catcher? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to tell them, yep. Submit. They'll see if they'll let us in.
It's just, see, that's what I'm saying. The group is growing. People are inviting people that don't even participate in our chats or anything, which is fine. Maybe they will come to the chats. And, you know, I understand people, that's the original one, right? However, what they don't understand is the marketing behind it and stuff. So, I mean, it's fine, whatever. But I'm not going to let them just post a link to another product. Sorry. I'm sorry, Tom. If you know the guy, I don't know him, but I removed his post so he didn't get any hate, because there's probably 158 other or 157 other people that might say something not so nice to him. So, but
shoot. But you try to use it for some free advertising for yourself then on that poll.
well, actually, I didn't start it. I didn't even see it. I wasn't a member of the group until a little while ago. And Phil's the one who put it up there.
Yeah, I might be getting lucky to be able to visit with RTX Honey next week.
Nice.
He's got a yard about 2 hours north of where my dad's at in Texas. And that's where I'm going to go visit with him.
We're up to 10% over there, man. So you'll be in Texas getting warm, and I'll be in Canada getting cold.
At the same time, yeah.
I've actually got a few drones walking around right now, Dennis. And some drone brew.
Yeah, I have 10 hives of drones. With drones in it. Heavy.
Let's see here. Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, I figured, using drones as a marker to start doing some splits in my hives is because you start seeing them, usually it takes them 2 weeks to mature. So if you've got a queen cell, you can get started. They're going to be mature before.
They'll be mature, right?
Yeah. And if you've got the drones, then they will you're pretty sure that the drone congregation is going to be near you somewhere. Other hives are going to have drones.
Well, we've noticed this too. Like, which, I mean, a lot of the area we're in is rural, but like when we was working down, talking about, remember us doing the pump houses down there a couple months back? All right. We would be out there. This is around November, I think it was. The days were cool, but not so much cold. But we were 40 miles from the house working, and we'd sit out there for lunch, and guess what would pop up? Here come a couple little honeybees. Well, this job we just finished yesterday, finally, or officially finished with it. The days we would sit outside for lunch, and this place is 5 minutes down the road from us, and we'd sit out there And guess what? There would be honeybees coming by. We got a little piece of a video. We had some honey we took to the folks we know, and we put a little dab of honey on her fingers, and lo and behold, she came back, and she's all over Hannah's finger, taking and getting that honey off her finger. And so, just going back to where you talking about, Ed, different congregating areas of drones, it seems that there's quite a bit of bees out in the wild that we really don't know about, or there's more out there than what we realize.
I know the swarms. I know there's bees around here because they were my swarms from years past. They're definitely out there.
Well, you have to give back to the trees so you can have something for your hives to contend with.
It's, let's see.
Dennis Barney, it's good to see you back in these chats, bro. We enjoyed talking with y'all on the phone and stuff. It's good to see y'all back in the chat.
Uh-oh. Here we go. It's starting to heat up over there. So lemongrass and Swarm Commander have dropped to 35 and 35. And I'm up to 10% now. So it's we're moving up. We're moving on up.
We'll go back in here and see if they let us in.
Of course, we got a whopping 8 votes. And Swarm Commander is at 26. I need Tim McCandless. If y'all know him, tell him to flip teams.
Flip teams, huh?
Yep. But Lemongrass got 26 votes. So every vote we get, those percentages will adjust. It's on a Joey, it's on a Facebook group called Honeybee Swarm Catching.
I don't know if y'all can see that or not. The site that it's on, they're just saying our membership is still pending.
Yeah,
Ours
it'll
is
take
too.
a
Mine
minute
is too.
to get approval.
And they might know we're connected with Bob and may not let us in.
Guilty by association.
Yeah.
What are these YouTubers doing?
Well, you know, it's got 26,000 members over there, so hopefully it'll pop up. You know, it's been kind of slow. I'll tell you what, I did better last year at this time, but there was a few things happening with the lure, right? So I'd gone to the conference. That was one thing. So I had some exposure and was able to talk to people. And it was new, so I was selling a bunch of it, and people were going on Amazon and buying it and leaving me reviews. And so it was a little bit easier to get things rolling. So hopefully we can get it back rolling this year.
Well, didn't you have one bad review? Some guy said it wouldn't catch anything.
Yeah. Yeah, one I actually did refund him his money too. I refunded it. No big deal. But thing is, there's a lot of people that'll scam to get their money back, and then you know
send the product.
They don't send the product back, and so that's kind of unusual. But you know, whatever. I'm readjusting the bottles, y'all. So this Honey Rustler concentrate is getting a different bottle this year. It's getting like Lee's Mead bottles. So it'll be a metal bottle, or glass bottle. that you would just dump the whole thing into your spray bottle. And then when I get those in, then I'll go ahead and let that back on the market.
I still have your original run bottle with no label.
No label on it?
Yeah, no label brand. Yeah.
So we're just trying to get it going. So the main thing is, guys, I'll tell you the biggest thing with the swarm lure for me was smaller beekeeping supply stores was kind of what my market was for. Because I know they have a hard time competing with the bigger stores out there. So that was kind of the goal market to help them make a little bit more, because I like to go to pick up at stores. And the companies that buy it from me are technically buying it from what they told me is because they didn't like dealing with the owner of Swarm Commander. So that's why they started buying from me. They just didn't like dealing with the guys. So that's what I've been working with.
Dennis Barney, Hannah's gone with the phone. I can't really see all the chat except for what pops up on the screen. But, what is the question on post a video or name of it?
Of what?
Apologies.
The Honeybee Democracy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can definitely put that up. Ain't no problem.
It's Tom Seeley, Honeybee Democracy. He actually has a book on it. Let's see.
I think I saw it on YouTube though too before.
Oh yeah, it's a series now. If you're looking for that, let me see. Let me. I don't know if it'll let me share links or not. But
it might be in black and white. Don't have to type it in. I don't know. I can't even put a link in to tell you the truth for some reason.
Tim could, because he's. Oh yeah, I can. There you go. That's a link to the book or the ebook of Honeybee Democracy. But they did do it on YouTube as well.
Let me rummage it. You got us as a what you call it?
We have a blue wrench.
Let me see if I
Well,
can find that
DC
video.
call it a power wrench or something?
Yeah.
It's very interesting, and if you're there's a whole bunch of knowledge in there that you go, I had no idea.
Oh, absolutely.
But that is cool how Tom Seeley and his student are investing all this time and figuring out these small, minute details that we often ask questions about, but really don't know what the answer is. But he gets down and breaks it down very simple. If my slow learning self can pick up on it and learn from it, I mean, it's good information.
8 hours? No, that's the audio book. I'm thinking an hour video. No way.
Let's see here.
Yeah. Phil's saying he's trying to take try to catch an old man nap.
Here you go, Dennis. She's fixing the video that I had watched.
Well, hey, Phil, before you go, keep an eye out. We made a video for you today. We're going to load very soon. Lee beat me to putting the link in.
There you go, bro.
No, he put Amazon.
Oh.
Let me see if I can post that.
There we go. Now,
okay, there's the link to the video and not the 8-hour video.
No, it's probably, I forget how long it is, 20, 30 minutes maybe. But it's well worth sitting down and watch every single bit of it if you have time.
I decided I'd make some of you guys moderators because last 2 times I was on live, I had someone dropping spamming my crap, so had to get rid of that or try to keep it under control.
That's just aggravating. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear all that. We don't come in here to listen to all that mess. And yeah, you got people trolling, and that's all they're trying to do is get attention. But man, take that mess somewhere else. Nobody wants to hear all that jawing. I'm done.
Go to people who watch that stuff or listen to that stuff. Don't come here, right?
Well, I mean, this ain't a platform, in my opinion, for all that. We in here to talk fellowship, have good conversation, talk bees, talk pickup trucks, whatever it may be. But you know, I'm not in here for the locker room talk. It just, I don't know.
This is I made the big league if I've got trolls.
I just saw that.
I don't know.
Who's that?
Lisa
Well,
said you big leagues if you're getting trolled.
Well, there you
I
go.
think what it is I jumped into a time slot that's pretty heavy on the weekend, or starts getting heavy. Maybe why I got that.
Well, that's somebody's 30-year-old child in the basement hollering, "Mama, give me something to eat." You know, that kind of stuff.
Lee's gonna call you.
42-year-old can't live in the basement.
Yourself.
Well, that'll give me a full name. Button Snot Tubbs Tasmanian Devil.
Jags, I thought we did share the live out.
You dropped earlier. Maybe.
Oh, and I know my boat.
Yeah.
I still got
Jake's trying to get me now. No,
Yeah.
I love Jake, man. He's a pretty good guy.
How again do you share it to where it goes through our channel, but we're on here?
Oh, it
There
should
should
be
be a
up in
blue
the.
tab near the top right corner.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't see it on mine. I don't see it on there. When you set up the stream, there should say on the top, "Stream to your audience."
Oh.
Ours don't say that, I don't think.
Yeah, it doesn't say it for me either.
Michael said we'll talk about dishwasher.
We can talk about dishwasher.
But that's all it's gonna be is idle
Yep.
chit chat.
How about the use of a microwave, right? The proper use of a microwave.
Don't get it, quit giving him ideas.
We got something for y'all to enjoy that's gonna entail the
it's
dishwasher.
coming. It
Sorry.
is coming. But I had to get Philip's video done first.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
So I had a customer that came for the first time today and bought honey from me. First time ever. Came over and bought some honey. And then he went back on my Walker Bee Ranch Facebook page and he said, bought 3 jars today, February 2024. Honey is the best tasting that I can remember ever having. Delicious flavor. Makes you feel good.
Waiting.
You see what Jake says?
In the basement.
Yeah, in the basement. If we were talking about trolls being in the basement, he's in the basement.
Yeah. DC, you're right. Check that out.
Oh
thank
yeah,
you.
I'm sorry. Hit that button.
Thank you.
Ed,
Quit hitting
is there
buttons.
anybody ringing your doorbell?
Earl put a thing up, said he was backstage waiting.
Oh, I got a couple people. Oh, goodness.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
running
I got
behind?
Jake there. I got Hillbilly. I'm falling behind. I'm running a double split screen.
What's going on with you, Earl?
Yeah.
Braces on your hands and fingers.
What happened?
Can't hear you, brother.
Called not splints. Can you hear me now?
Splints.
How about me?
He in the real basement. I'm not in that. I'm not in that type of basement. No, I was asking about sharing out. I said, why are all three of y'all not sharing it out?
Oh, he hadn't set it. He didn't set it up to do that when he went live.
Right. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So is there
Yeah.
a button whenever you're setting it up?
Yeah, go into settings.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can do it while I'm talking.
Like on our page.
You go into settings and you see share out. You click on share out, and you other two should be able to share it out. Whoever he has on the panel should be able to share it out. That way, everybody get credit for it.
I don't know what we did wrong.
The only way I know how to do it, Jay, is we just like copy the link and do it on our community page. But
Well,
I think
There is a way when you're setting it up. I don't know if you can go back in the settings. I've never done that, but when I set it up to where it'll be a blue tab in the right corner that says share to your audience.
Right.
And then it'll let you stream it to your channel.
okay.
You see setting at the bottom of your tab right there? Son of
Is
one.
It looks frozen.
Yeah, setting. Yeah. My video keeps freezing on me for some reason. Okay, on the video tab, go to where?
Settings. Tell me everything you see in settings.
Yeah, it goes from general settings, then it goes camera, audio, video, virtual background, recording, hotkeys, layouts, and guests.
Okay, hit guess. What it says in guess.
I should be frozen.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Let
sir.
me
We
ask
hear
you,
you.
is everybody on the page? There you go, right there, just popped up. You did it right.
All
So
right.
now everybody click on that, and there's a box that pop up, and you just type in the heading that you want to have in there, and then you all press the bottom and go live.
Yeah, we didn't get a box pop up.
No.
I thought I had that check.
Are you on the paid subscription?
Yeah, he is.
If
I got
it. If you're on a paid subscription, you can get it. If you're not, you can't get it.
Yeah, it's streaming to my channel right now.
Okay.
I mean,
So you got a blue box at the top right of your screen.
No.
It says stream this to your audience.
See, there's a notification. Someone just got a notification that I'm streaming live.
Yeah, it was me.
Right. Now look to the right, up in the right-hand corner, you'll see a check mark, and you'll see Bob's name up there.
Yeah, I see Bob's check up there. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
See, that's something else I'm learning new about StreamYard. What's good that I came on tonight.
Now, here's the hitch in the giddy up, right? So as you're seeing comments, if they look like they got a little chain link in the corner of the face, those are people watching it on my channel or somebody else's.
I call it a paper clip.
The paper clip?
I call it a paper clip. Wherever you see a paper clip, they come in on your channel. But then now, if they want to make a comment, they have to do it on Son of One channel.
Or someone's got to be popping them up on the screen so they can read them, right?
Right. Unless
yeah,
you
I
got
seen a few pop up with the chain, the paper. Yeah, well, Tim and Bob are moderators, and so is Lee.
I'm gonna work something out. My brother just bought 86 acres in West Virginia. So 86 acres.
I just need 150. That's all.
Well, there are a lot of mountainside acres, right? So they're they got a spot for the house, and then you got this job in the back.
You gotta go downhill, uphill.
But bees don't care. If you can get to them, they'll be fine.
That's right.
Well, you do is tear us the side of that mountain, put them on there.
I just think that's
something Earl would do.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, it's
Yes, sir.
fuzzy there, Earl, but I can hear you.
Okay. I wasn't going to talk much anyway. I just wanted to join in one time for a change. I'm glad Mr. George came in. That's the first time we got to hang out together.
How you doing here, Billy? Yeah, first time I actually seen you, really.
I'm hanging out like hair on a biscuit. I usually have a big old beard, but I've shaved it off. And I usually keep bald head, but I've grown some hair, so you never know what I'm going to look like. Anything to hide the ugly.
Hey.
Yeah, he becomes a chameleon sometimes. I've seen him change several times.
Hey. Hey,
I do it too.
Long,
I'll have
long
a
as
full
you keep
beard.
going, nobody stopping you good.
I'll keep a beard as long as I can get away with it, but when wife says trim it or shave it, it's done. It's done. Yeah, man, I got to wear these night sprints. It's for carpal tunnel and trigger finger and other stuff. Yeah,
You might need to let the bees sting you up.
yeah, I know it, but the snow has to quit first. It's snowed here all day.
You getting snow today?
Oh man.
Yeah, snow.
It's supposed to get cold here tonight.
It is cold here.
Let's see. We're supposed to get in, let me see. Sun 32 tonight, 29 tomorrow for lows. And Monday 30.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cold for where you're at.
How many of y'all covered in snow right now?
There's quite a few people talking about snow. Danae said it was 15 below.
15 below.
I think that's what.
I figured from New North is covered in it.
Then it got down to
Low tonight, 38 here.
Now, let me ask y'all this for the folks that do get snow. Now, I had an old timer tell us this, that like whenever it very rarely snows and actually sticks to the ground down here. It's been well over 10 years since we've seen any accumulation of snow on the ground down here. But he was telling us, he says, son, whenever we get them good, we call it good snow, which is probably about a half inch, really. It ain't much. But
Yeah.
snow for us.
he said there's a whole bunch of nitrogen in that snow, and it helps to fertilize our grounds. Y'all know anything on that?
It would make sense. Nitrogen's the most abundant gas in the atmosphere.
I don't want to know about it. I grew up in
Earl's a local scientist here.
We get
All I know is whenever I'm working with the garden after a good rain, I mean, you can't water a garden and make it do what rain does.
Well, you're right about that. Yes, sir.
we get a freeze warning and the whole state shuts down over here. They ain't playing. School closed, everything.
Shoot, around here you get a thought of any kind of cold or possible ice, it shuts down. Don't even have to be announced.
We go out to
You're in Carolina. Same thing happened in Georgia.
Yep. Yes, sir.
The kayaks that usually go down the river are then turned into snowmobiles. You see kayaks going down the snow just as much as you do rivers.
But they're getting towed behind pickup trucks.
Right.
Only if you're real redneck. It's actually showing sunshine for me Sunday and Monday. What about that?
Be nice.
I'm
Well, it's going
multitasking.
to get up to 45 tomorrow.
Appreciate you, Ricky.
Yeah.
Packing up.
Earl, I've already done 2 splits already.
What?
Too cold here for that yet.
I was hoping we
I'm in
could get
dozing.
weekend, but it got way too cold.
You're in North Florida.
You guys are really blessed to be able to be in your bees this time of year and have that good warm weather.
That guy's crazy.
Dude, did you say I'm in Florida?
Ed said he was in Dothan. I said you're in North Florida.
Oh,
You mind if I say hello to a few people that just come in?
Go ahead.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Shawnee 2003, how you doing? Sheer Sunshine, how you doing? K Renee, how you doing? Cool Gamer, how you doing? Salon Siegler, how you doing? And my people come to see about y'all B people.
And let me throw a howdy on top of that, right back to all them same people. I don't know the names, but howdy.
Hey,
Yeah.
And Miss Weaver, if you ordered swarm lure, I'm packing it up right now.
I already got mine, Bob.
I ship out pretty quick.
Where you been?
I don't let it
Did
sit
you get a
here.
hold of those people? Those people that was trying to contact you about stuff that I texted you about?
Yep. I had my one of my translator friends get on the phone with me, 3-way call.
I
And
got another one.
I got samples coming.
I got another one begging, thinking they can outdo them.
So,
Mary, grow with me. How you doing?
Hey Earl, I got a question for you. So when you gonna go do your hiking in the mountains again, looking for some fresh stock?
As soon as it's warm enough, for me to get there, I'll go. That's why I was looking for these couple of days of sunshine coming up, Sunday and Monday. I might try to get up in there Monday and look around.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that last year, and I didn't never get a chance to catch up on that.
I actually went and started filming and ran into a lot of bad luck and had to cut it all short, and I just wasn't prepared enough for that kind of adventure. But next time I will be.
Buddy, I'd love to be able to get up there in them mountains and see all that. Like we was talking earlier, them beautiful creeks running through there and just being in them mountains.
Wait do you see? Wait till you see. I've got a video coming up I'm going to do about a spot I found, and it's about a 12-foot wide entrance between a couple of cliffs, and I walked in between it, and it opened up to
Otis Homestead.
big old room, 250-foot high rock walls, and it's one little room and an overhang inside of it, and I'm going to have to film that, man. It's really beautiful, and I can't wait to show everybody.
Hey, Earl, you got a way to adjust your mic a little bit? Because it's fuzzy for some reason. I don't know exactly why. But people are saying they can't hardly understand what you're saying. We can hear.
So how about now?
That's a little better.
Urban Garden Chronicles, how you doing?
Do I need to turn it down?
No, that's
Better now.
yeah. It was just a
Yeah, a
little
lot better
scratchy.
now.
Yeah, because I can't stand it when other people's like that. I don't want to be like that. I'd rather go out and watch.
Yeah, you good now. I think that you had the mic straight to your mouth. That's what it was.
Probably. I do have a big mouth, Jugs. Is that what you're saying?
I ain't got no comments. You got to talk to me right.
But he didn't say it. But since you said it, we'll agree.
I'm good at reading in between the lines, or at least I think I am. I'm wrong all the time. I'm going to have to fix me up a way so I can see the comments.
Yeah, what I love about you, Earl, is the fact you say what you think. And
I don't have a filter, but you know what? This new medicine, Dralo, you probably seen it on TV. I have. It's done a number on me about slowing me down and steadying me out. I make I don't hide the fact that I'm bipolar schizophrenic. I never have, and everybody that knows me knows that I deal with that stuff, and it's a real good reason to be with the bees if you're afflicted in that way, because of the concentration and whatnot you have to have around bees, and it really helps. But they added that to the mix. Now I've got Effexor, Vraylar, and Seroquel, a stabilizer, an antipsychotic, and whatever Vraylar is, bipolar medicine. And I have to take that junk, and it ain't fun, man.
What's your count now, Ed, since you shared it out?
I was trying to check that to see. I haven't seen what it is.
You should see up at the top of the screen how many people's watching.
Oh, 58.
Now hover over it and it'll tell you who's watching from where.
You've got somebody died when I start talking about that one.
Okay, it tells you what the channels. Okay, Jigs got 7. You've got 17, and my channel's got 34.
Yep.
I have to log in to do that, but I was afraid to do it. If you want me to, I'll log in. We might grab some more.
That's the good thing about sharing it out. Now that you're sharing it out, you're getting more than what you had before.
Yep.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
It
you
did
cover
not
more
go.
ground.
Mhm. And plus, there's a bunch of people that's coming in that want to know about beekeeping and want to get bees. But now, hey,
I'll have a limited number of nukes in the middle of March. If anybody needs some, just hit me up.
Let folks know where you at, Bob.
Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah, I think mine are coming in on the 10th of March.
How many
The,
you getting?
I had to replace it since all mine are dead now.
I'm getting 15.
I heard that the other day on Mrs. T, and I was like, crap, I didn't know you lost all of them.
That last freeze is what did it.
Yeah,
See, that's
brutal.
one thing. I've been doing this since 2017, and I come to the realization it depends on the weather and how the weather go, because I'm in Georgia. We're not used to cold, so therefore they're not used to cold, and the way they keep warm, it ain't nothing when you get them freezes. That's not enough, because I don't take and put anything around my hives. I just leave my hive the way it is, and that's it.
Were you about Central Georgia or North Georgia?
Oh, South Georgia.
Oh,
South Georgia.
Earl dropped out.
Okay.
I was like, what happened to him?
Hopefully you can get him back in here.
Is the
He might be checking his mic.
where you get your nukes from, Jake?
There's a place up here in on the other side of Vidalia where I go. They're trustworthy. I've been dealing with them for a while.
That's important.
Shan Tyreman, how you doing?
Shan Tyreman, huh?
Yeah.
I'm B-Tirement.
We a long way from retire. Lord.
And if anybody's in the Atlanta area, I'll be there Wednesday night. I'll be in Atlanta. So if anybody wants to hang out, let me know.
I don't like going to Atlanta.
Me neither. But the flight was cheaper from Atlanta than it was from Charlotte. Charlotte's much closer, but it's not $500 closer. So we're going to Atlanta. We're gonna.
Atlanta's only about 3.5, 4 hours from me.
Yeah, it's the same for me. 3 hours, like 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Hope you do.
So what part? What part of Georgia? Upper northern Georgia or central Georgia? Where you at?
South Georgia. I'm close to Savannah.
Close to Savannah.
Right.
So you're on basically on the same parallel that basically Tim and I are both on. He's over in
the 30.
You're like
34 parallel, I think. 32nd, 34 parallel.
They're in South Alabama.
We're both in South Alabama area. You know, I'm at the corner of Georgia, Florida, and Alabama's where I live at.
Y'all closer to Albany. You're closer to Albany than I am. Albany,
yeah,
Georgia.
I'm about 2 hours away from Albany, south of it.
But I mean, we're a couple hours south of Ed.
Yeah, we're about 2.5 hours from Ed.
We're right outside Mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, we about, I don't know, 45 minutes we can be downtown Mobile from where we're at.
I'm trying to remember the place.
The plague. I don't do town very much.
What's the name of that car rental? There's a car rental shop. Enterprise.
I've heard.
When I go to Alabama, I go to Enterprise.
Enterprise. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty close. To Edgerton.
That's 28 miles from where I live at.
Okay. You never know unless you ask.
Yeah, that's true.
RX Nels, how you doing? Fallen Skies, how you doing?
You getting all kind of people coming in here.
We're in here. We're just talking about bee talk. You got any question about bees? This is a good time to ask. You got the one Bob up there. If you want to get into bees, he can get you some bees in March.
In March. Yep, they're going to be here in March. So what I do is I buy 3-frame. We call them package pluses, right? It's basically three pounds of bees, but you're getting 3 frames of already established comb and the queen working them already. So it's like a mini nuke. And then I put them in a 5-frame and add a couple frames to them and let them hatch out and grow up for a week or so, and they'll be ready to roll. So
I usually just get the cake.
That's the Beaconomics thing, guys.
I don't get any frames with it. My box would be full anyway, so I don't get any.
Well, the price that I get them for, if you are buying them, excuse me, it's an ability for anybody that's in bees that if you got bees, inherently someone's going to ask you, do you sell bees, right?
Right.
It happens all the time. So you can buy them and basically double your money doing it that way. And that's kind of one of the ways I augment some of my income during the year to buy more bee stuff.
All right.
And then I make
Deborah Garrett and Experience with Sassy. Welcome in, sis. Go ahead. I'm just saying hello to folks that will come in.
Yeah, I've been noticing other people from other places. Well, I like that.
Yeah, it's nice to see new people.
That's the benefit of sharing it out.
Yeah, you get see the people we share it to typically all watch it anyway, right? It's the same group. So it's same like when Miss T shares it out and you share it out, it's the same group of people a lot. They're just watching on different channels, and the same thing happens with us. So it's nice to have y'all's group of people meeting our group of people and kind of sharing the wealth in between the two.
Trying to become one group of people.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. And if you're on Facebook, we got a Facebook group as well called the No Life Beekeepers. So feel free to join that.
I'm on Facebook. I haven't used it in about 3-4 years now.
Bro, you find your local area, your town group, and when you go to sell your honey, you post it up in that group that you have honey. Gone.
Well, see, that's one of the things, right? There's a lot of beekeepers in my area. There's tons of beekeepers in this area.
Right. So but do all of them use Facebook? I can tell you that. No, you don't use Facebook. Oh,
majority
really?
of them do.
I know people here. There's a lot of beekeepers in South Carolina as well, but
Farmer Marshall, how you doing?
But not a lot of them are using Facebook, and I use Google. Right, I've got my apiary listed on Google. So when people Google search beekeepers near me, mine pops up like right away. So I get a lot of just random calls. Do you have honey? Can you come get these bees? That type of thing.
I see Earl.
Earl's trying.
Ooh, I just tried to put him in. He's dropped back.
No.
Hey, I'll say whenever we pulled our first round of honey with that hand crank extractor,
There he goes. He's trying to come in.
He's blurry.
between church family,
I'm syndicating as we speak.
I think he's dropped again.
No, he's still here.
yeah, he's
Oh,
in
he's
here.
still there.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes.
What'd you
Left
say,
in my
Tim?
computer.
I was just saying, once folks,
How you doing,
it
Sweet
didn't
Ray?
take no time for people to start spreading the word between we got with a couple folks at church, then just, family friends, if you will. And Jay, Bud, I mean, it didn't take no time before folks was calling old so-and-so, hey, can you get me a thing of that honey from Tim and Hannah? And Bubba, it was gone in a heartbeat.
Did they all look for discounts?
A lot of them, well,
It just changed, didn't it? It just changed, didn't it?
Well, mine come and try. They just don't get it. Nope, can't do that.
2 years, I think we gave away every drop of honey
pretty much.
or bees made because
Well-
I didn't have the heart to tell people, no, you got to pay me for it.
Yeah.
But now there's just way too much time and work invested into it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you
learned a
gotta be-
lesson there too.
Right. Well,
There's a question up here from Fallen Skies Homesteading and Preparedness channel. It says, what is the average price per box? And True Value has boxes for sale. Is this a good place to start? It's my opinion my personal opinion, when you're first starting, the cheapest equipment you can buy is the best equipment you can buy, or if you build. Because when evidently, and I think most everybody on here will agree that when you start, you're going to make mistakes and it's going to cost bees lives.
If you know somebody that build it, or just take the easy one, go to Amazon.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Like we talked about on Miss T's.
that's the best thing to do. Just buy the whole kit because you can get a kit. It comes with the smoker, brushes, hive tool, a deep,
Everything.
medium, queens excluders, and I think it was about $150 we had on y'all's and Miss T show the other
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can get just go to Amazon and get the beginner's kit. You can get everything you need.
Mhm.
Then I guarantee you, after you done got your first set of bees, then you'll start spending money because you'll see how good it is. You'll get upset at one time, but then you'll come back and once you see that little bit of honey, you'll start trying to do it even more.
Mhm.
And everybody's got different budgets when they're starting. So what you think is cheap or reasonable may not be what someone else think is cheap and reasonable, right? So some people think, hey, I'm just going to buy a flow hive. That's cheap and reasonable for them.
I've been doing this since 2017. I'm still using a hand crank. That was it. Let me see. It holds 2 frames at a time, and I crank it up, then turn them around and crank it again. That's it. Hey,
I mean,
I've got a 4 frame extractor I bought for $200 from somebody because they had it sitting in their garage.
that was a steal.
Yes, sir.
Earl,
Lee,
what extractor are you using, Earl? What size?
The one I bought years ago off Leo Saraskin. It's the one that I can spin any kind of frames there is, and I can do 6 mediums or 3 deeps. I can do a top bar. I can do a Langstroth, whatever. And to me, the benefits of being able to do that. Ask me how many times I've ever spun anything other than a Langstroth, and I'll tell you none at all. But I still want that ability, and it's hand cooked, so if there's no power, I can still run it.
Well,
All right.
I've got
When I bought it, it was a lot cheaper than they are now. I would never buy that thing now, I don't think.
I've got a small extractor, and well, it's bigger than I need right now, but
to me, that's large.
I got a 30 frame extractor and a Lyson. I call it the semi-automatic uncapper, right? So it's a hand crank, but it's got electric steam powered blades on it, or steam heated blades.
You gotta be able to set it, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, there's other pieces that I want, but not other pieces that I need right now. So it works for what I need. And my thing is, because of the hive beetles, I only pull off as much honey as I can uncap and spin out at a time, right? Because if you pull it off and leave it up in the honey house or wherever you're extracting, if there's any beetles in there, they're gonna wreck it. So,
I don't have those anymore.
Turn your Wi-Fi on.
yeah, well, this year was tough for me on hive beetles. Last year, when I was diligent on the peppermint, no, not a problem.
Well, I've seen a couple of things this year. I used to laugh and say I didn't see any, but I really didn't. But now this year, it was, I had to they kept me on my toes this year, and I still lost hives, but not due to them.
Well, answer me this question, because we were talking about it earlier, and
That's right.
I noticed when I put the Appy tablet in that all of a sudden, boom, I didn't see any in the colony with the Appy tablet. Now, I had made some changes, but I made the changes wholesale to everything, and the ones that didn't have the Appy tablet in it still had a few beetles in it, but the ones that had the Appy tablet in it, I didn't see any beetles in them anymore.
Man, I'm just like Laverne and Shirley. Every year at this time, I'm always doing it always, just like always, and I'm post pretty.
Right there. Stream this to your
Oh,
audience.
Good.
You found it
Oh,
finally?
you found it?
Yep. It was right.
Shit.
So,
Change in the week.
Oh, Snot Cub couldn't find them?
See, you should ask your wife from the get-go, man. You should ask your wife. I can't find it. Where's that?
eggs.
Jay, I thought we
Yeah,
was
I
friends,
appreciate
man.
that. I appreciate you.
Hey.
Yeah, Jay.
No, I didn't say that. I'm sorry to you.
Hey,
What'd you say, girl?
I didn't say nothing.
I froze again.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Michael Buck, he says, has anyone besides me on the channel that has made a small hive beetle vacuum like the Bug Farmer? Tim and Hannah were the OG bug vacuum makers. They're the first people I've seen make.
We are. Now, if
These
somebody
got to be about 2000.
They were
Now I just got dumbfounded again. What you mean bug vac?
It's a little automotive vacuum, like a handheld vacuum, but it's got a real thin nozzle on the front, but you can vacuum hive beetles out and they go into a little can.
Okay. No,
we had
I
to
thought
make
you was.
they were so overrun.
I'm thinking something else. Okay.
Bruce from Bruce's Bees made one. He calls it the Beetle Vacuum 3000 or something.
Yeah, he got it from the Bug Farmer. The Bug Farmer sent him one.
That's what I said.
But Tim and Hannah were the first people I saw with it last year, right?
No,
And then
I
they-
love you guys, and I love everybody on here, but
Yeah, we done that a
I'd
couple years.
rather die than to use a vacuum for beetles.
That's the only way we could keep up with them. There was no way. There was just so many we wouldn't have.
But knowing what I know now, to go back to that would kill me, wouldn't it? You? If you had to go back to that, I mean, that'd be devastating, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Couldn't hear you, Earl.
Yeah,
If
you're
you had
right.
to go back, if you had to go back to using the vacuum again, if you had to go back to using the vacuum again, it would be devastating. I would die. I wouldn't want to do that.
I hope we don't ever have to crank that thing up again. But let me say this. If you take my idea and you make a profit off of it, send me a check. And profit off my idea. And I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, Tasmanian devil.
I'll get off of it.
I was going to use your part of it to pay the taxes.
Yeah, I'm hoping we didn't have to crank that thing. Once we started doing the extract and adding that little eucalyptus in there, honest to goodness truth, we did not have to crank that thing after the middle of June up to present date.
Yep.
It has not been turned on. Now, if you go back and watch our, go ahead, Earl.
Putting that stuff in there, man, it's almost like a magic trick.
Yes.
It's just
Like, I wish we'd have listened to you 6 months sooner than we did on that
A
stuff.
And
lot of people do it. A lot of people do it. People in Australia are doing it everywhere. I mean, all you gotta do is read them comments on some of the videos, and it's crazy how many people are really having the same exact result as we have, you know, by doing it. And
Fallen
I like
Sky.
to touch it. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I like to touch of putting that eucalyptus in it the way you did, you know. That's a delicate balance, but I like how you done that because it also extends it over and pushes the moth away as well.
They are the bane of my existence.
Who said that? Oh, it must be on Bob.
The miniature black beetles.
To put somebody, I don't remember, but they can be heard.
And they will tear up a colony.
Yes.
Yeah, they will.
And they stink disgustingly bad.
y'all, if we hadn't, I mean, like I say, you can go back and see our earlier videos a year or so ago and just see the infestations. And we're not talking about one or two, we're talking about hundreds.
Well, 25, 50 jump out at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as soon as we pulled that lid back or one of them
They
slats,
were everywhere.
we'd have to start getting them thing in that vacuum cleaner. If not, they would get into the colony, then decimate the colony. And within a couple of days, they'd be slimed out. And
When I went and got mine from Seth that last time, and he had just got them from that North Florida, Elmira, I don't probably ain't saying that right, but we had been down there in North Florida. They were like that when I brought them up here, but about 3-4 hours later, they was not.
But there's one thing I'm really, really glad about, because, we're small YouTubers. We have our community, but we don't have the tens of thousands of subscribers like a lot of people do. And I'm really glad that a lot of these men and women are speaking up and saying, it doesn't matter if they're in the sun. It doesn't matter if they're in this type of environment.
Mm-hmm.
They will infest that colony no matter what the soil
How
is.
strong the colony is, they will still
The way
take
I
them.
was always learned about them is when they defecate on a honey cell, you won't go back to that honey cell. It's like they claim it, mine. And
Well,
I think that gives them the little leg hold.
the problem is a lot of people that are talking about hive beetles, they are only seeing, they're in an area where they're not even seeing that many. I mean, I heard a live stream this week where they were talking about hive beetles, and they're telling you how to treat hive beetles, and they open up a colony, got 3 or 4 in it. We might have 300 or 400 in there, So I'm like, you're telling people how to kill them, and you don't even have to kill them. So, it's kind of ridiculous, but.
Well, and to your point,
Is that where they can smash with the high tooth and they're done?
Yeah.
I ever saw was a beetle in jail, and so I dropped a drop of peppermint below him. He climbed out of the jail right over the top of all those bees' head and headed straight to the top. So they're only in jail if they want to be, because you should have seen how fast he left that jail. And he was in jail, and bees surrounded him. One drop of peppermint, up there, and he came just to getting it. Wings are flapping, legs are digging. I was so happy.
Well, we did a video when we first started doing the extract and everything, and I think it was about our second week into it, and it was in one of the horizontal hives, but we have slats across each one. It's not like a full inner cover, so we could just roll back a little one before, one at a time, and we'd roll them back, and we're going, oh, thank you, Lord, we didn't see any. But Hannah took that little old diabetic needle and syringe and run that bee across the back. Well, I guess
we can hear you.
I guess the peppermint got on them, or whenever they smelt it, whatever it was. But buddy, it was like you hit them with a match and some gas. Them jokers got up and they got gone out of their little hiding
Literally.
spot.
It ran them out.
Yeah.
We do have that on video to
Can you
see.
share that I posted on there? Can you add that?
Now, you know, I also use when I start out, I used the CD disc. I tried that too, and
Done
that
that.
works pretty good. That works
Yeah.
pretty good.
Our bees
Was-
just personalized it. And
Yeah,
like
it's awful.
they had them things closed.
I'm trying to see if Ed can add this that I'm trying to share to the screen here.
Oh, okay. You present. I hit present.
No, it should be in the bottom like you're adding a person.
Now, I do know
Well,
how
I
to
don't
do
Bless,
see
how you
it.
doing?
Oh, there it is. It's beside you.
So I've
Okay.
used Swiffer sheets before, right? And
Raisin cake.
this is a decimated colony. It's a couple photos. What happens to the larva and everything. I had to scrape it. Let me see if I can fast forward this a bit. This is few years ago. As you can tell, I look younger. Let me see if I can.
When you got diligent with those peppermints, man, you didn't have no problem in that. That's
Yeah,
saying
this-
a lot.
This is before that. Just showing some of the Swiffer sheets I pulled out. But what I want to show people is actually in the bucket, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could not look at it, but I'm going to have to look at it. But it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, I should have showed y'all what we pulling out of that thing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, let's see if I can just-
Oh, they gave me out.
Not me talking. We don't want to see that.
Seems like rotten
You're
hay,
always
man.
talking, Bob.
Well, this is a few years ago, but I'm trying to. Here we go.
You ever get into some moldy rotten hay? That's about what
You see all the larvae in there?
the smell is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just thousands and thousands and thousands of just not much.
Yeah, and I think I actually take a hive tool, and I mean that they're all under there. It's like bunches and bunches of them.
That's the moths, right?
That's the larva that they lay in the comb. That that rips it up, right, and slimes out your honey and everything.
Yeah.
Even longer before it goes to the dirt.
I think I fed them to the chickens.
Did you
No,
see
I didn't.
that Dr. Jamie Ellis video where he actually raised them in fruit? They have the ability, if they can't get
You
into
see
a
the beetles
hive,
walking around in the bucket, even.
Yeah.
they can live in fruit trees like peaches and
Excuse me.
apples.
So they live in and around fruit trees. What you saying, Earl?
No, them maggots, they'll go right in, lay eggs in an apple or a peach, and they'll go through the whole thing just like they would in a beehive, but they'll do it in the peach or in the apple. And so, but they'll only do that if they cannot access a honey hive. But they,
Those are moth beetles. I mean, moth worms that was in the bucket, right?
No, those are
No,
side
no.
bee larvae,
hive beetles.
Hmm.
and they'll
Yeah.
totally wreck the colony and make the bees leave.
I'm
No,
not
just
going
like rotten hay.
to graphic detail with it, but whenever we was
Hey,
vacuuming hundreds at a time, there would be a time where I forgot to empty the bucket out, because what I do is I put, I don't know, an inch or two water in the bottom of that vacuum, and I put dish soap in there, and whenever we vacuum them up, they get in that dishwater. Well, I forget to take and either feed them to the chickens or just discard them either way. Well, we come back out the next week, there wouldn't be no pollen or honey, anything like that in there. But buddy, let me tell you what, it went from solid shell beetles to larvae. It's like they would procreate in there as well, even not even having the bees to go off of. They would just they just continue on.
Yeah, they're nasty.
I used to just take frames and sit in there with my chickens and tell my chickens have a ball.
Problem is the chickens tear the comb up too.
Yeah, they would hit it
It's
down hard.
satisfying watching them chickens eat those things.
Oh yeah, our chickens are spoiled to it. They
They will follow us to the beehives in the yard and stand down there waiting.
yeah think, oh, we're gonna get a snack today. They and the bees.
They have been sorely disappointed here lately.
But I can definitely say with the peppermint, there was a drastic difference in the colonies. Very.
Since I quit the candy and started doing it just exactly like you see Tim and Hannah doing it, it was such a perfect representation of it. I've shared a video on about every platform I'm on. I'm on a bunch of them now, but that's exactly how I do it. I might put 2 or 3 peppermint candies in there to just distract them, let them go to the candy and be eating on it while that soaks into the wood. Because once it soaks into the wood, they can walk all over it and it don't hurt them.
Oh, okay. What kind of peppermint are we using? The regular cheap peppermint or some real peppermint?
Real peppermint oil.
Or a bag peppermint candies.
Peppermint candy? All right, that'll work.
But now,
But they eat the peppermint candies quick now.
It
Yeah,
can't
they
be the artificial ones. You don't know how many people's told me it don't work, but they're using artificially flavored.
That's what I'm looking at right there, artificial flavor.
Yeah, you don't want to use that. You want to use the real stuff like that McCormick you get at the grocery store or whatever, just for cooking. Yeah, I get that 100%.
By pure peppermint extract.
Yeah.
I buy 16 ounces at a time from, I forget the name of it, but I can get it and post it if anybody wants it. It's I buy 16 ounces at a time for like $20, and if not, you'll pay $10 an ounce for it.
Yeah, that's the cheap one.
Yep, Sam's Club for like $10, you get 6 or 7 pounds of them.
Starlight, yeah.
Yep.
Everybody kept telling me, well, what is it going to get in the honey? Is it going to get in the honey? And I was like, well, no, it can't be because I'm not using it. They can't leak it. It's just in there stinking up the hive as far as the hive beetle is concerned. You can actually do it. I've done it, and I even have a video of me doing it. You can ask Google what beetles hate most, and it'll say, according to Smith's dictionary, pest man, whatever, and it'll say peppermint oil. So
I think I'm gonna do when I put these new hives in, I'm gonna do I'm gonna crush up some candy, and I'm putting spearmint and peppermint at the base of the hive.
Well, I tell you the thing about spearmint. Spearmint's good, but it doesn't have but just a little bit of the peppermint oil menthol, like that gives it that real harshness to it. But still, spearmint's good, and they hate it as well. And the candies themselves have 20 parts per million peppermint oil in them, the hard candies. And what else was I going to say?
I'm gonna put the plants. I'm putting plants at the base of the.
Oh yeah, let's say.
I'm putting plants in.
Yeah, I go spearmint and peppermint both for mine too, man. I can't wait until they come up.
Hey, and Jay, we was talking on y'all's live the other day how we built our pollen sub feeder out of them coffee cans.
Yeah.
Drilling a hole in the side. All right. Get you an extra one, but don't drill you a hole in the side. Keep your lid and cut you a small little cross in it, in the top of that lid. That way, all them papers that you have pulling that peppermint candy off of, all you got to do is just shove the papers down in there, and they won't come back out.
I even got the wires just tying them, throwing them in there and letting them go in there and eat it yourself. They drag the paper out too.
Yeah, the first year when I did it, like I was telling them, I noticed that they stocked that all around the brood.
Don't
you
that
know,
funny how they
between
do that? And it makes you think, why? I mean, of all the things in the world that you've ever fed your bees, why is peppermint the only thing that they put around the bee? I'll say one more thing about peppermint, and I'll kind of shut up about it. But of all the bee pheromones and enzymes that have to do with like smell or whatever, peppermint oil contains 0 that match a honeybee. In other words, all of the honeybees' smells and perceptions can be 100% intact at the same time they have, the peppermint in their world. It doesn't mask anything. It makes you wonder why it's not something that not just everybody knows about. You'd think it would be something that everybody's just always done for hundreds of years.
Yeah, DC was asking Earl, says, what about double mint?
I don't know. I know that what is that? Spearmint and peppermint together, ain't it?
I'm not sure.
Tell him put it out, the taste is gonna move him when he pops it in his mouth. Like the commercial.
Yeah. 2 mints in one.
I'm gonna give me some plants.
When they're done in, didn't they?
I think I got some mint. I got some mint seeds.
Like DC said, he for real has a double mint plant.
Oh,
I
he
mean,
does. I thought he was joking. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
I was joking back
I've
with you,
never-
baby. I knew you was joking. I did not know.
I didn't either.
I've never heard of it either. That's the first time.
I thought he was making a joke
Yeah.
like about the. Or
Wait a minute,
something.
Judge. Just because you grow them both in the same pot don't make it double mint, does it, Judge?
Yeah. Yeah.
DC really just growing them in the same batch, are you? I like the minute got the live stream turned on and got backstage with this thing. There's no way I'm touching any buttons to go check it out. This is the only live stream I've been on this year, Ed.
I haven't had any issue with carpenter bees.
No.
No, me neither. If anything, I'd say them things are on a decline.
Yeah, someone was asking, do carpenter bees wreck a hive? I've not seen one. I've seen them go into it and be run right back out.
Yeah, they don't. I don't run into a lot of them. They don't stay long.
Yeah, I can watch. I've watched a couple walk right in and turn around and taking off quick.
I've seen them at my feeders. If I put out open feed, I've seen them in there.
Oh.
Bees.
And they're fine all together in that.
Mm-hmm. Well, y'all, I'm getting ready to eat some dinner, and so I'm going to be running off of here.
I heard that.
All right.
Live stream.
It was good seeing all y'all. And I might, who knows, I might have a late night stream, depending on how y'all been going 3 hours over here already. So,
yeah, I may be calling it here because my wife's gonna want something to eat in a minute. So,
well, who's
I'm
gonna
have
do
to
live now?
Well, when my boss comes in here, I have to do what I'm told. I don't know about the rest of it, but I do what I'm told.
Robert, they're eating the apple tablet right now.
I fed mine before I came on here, so she ain't got nothing to say to me.
So I will put y'all on the next one. I appreciate y'all.
All right, Bob. Have a good one.
God bless.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad you decided to drop in, Errol. We were talking about.
I'm just glad to be here with you.
We were talking about mites versus beetles, and
how you doing, bro?
What they were,
Sylvia.
The mites we try to eliminate. The beetles we haven't found a way to eliminate them. Is what we were talking about. you can get them, you can run them off and keep them out, but you not a way to. They've not found a way to eliminate them yet.
No, because they're going to live in fruit. There ain't no way to get rid of them. I mean, they're going to live in the peach. They don't need the honeybee hive. They just prefer it.
Yeah. Shoot. So that's why we were debating that earlier. And
Jamie Ellis,
I
when he
didn't
did
know.
his studies in Africa, he was over there in the laboratory on the second story up a flight of stairs in the laboratory. If you know how a laboratory is, you're talking shut door, glass room, sealed up pretty much. Where he comes in after the weekend, and there is a line of hive beetle larvae from the dirt beside the sidewalk all the way through the main lobby entrance, up the stairs, down the hall, and into the room, and over to the petri dish he had sitting on the table where they was climbing out and falling down. I imagine now, in my mind, they was following the dirt that people tracked in on their shoes and was following it outside to get to more of it. I don't know though, but that's a real good video to watch on hive beetles because he pretty much explained it, all of it. Did you know they can fly 10 to 11 miles at night?
I didn't know about at night, but I've heard they fly 10 or so miles to find a hive.
Oh yeah,
If
they're
they
all
smell
about
it.
the night business. They hate sun probably more than they do peppermint.
They love what?
Yeah.
I mean,
They
They hate
hate the
what?
sunshine. They hate the sunshine more
Right.
about it than they do peppermint. Which actually they hate peppermint oil more than anything, according to Google. But it just seems as though, like when that one beetle that Cedar Anderson placed on that hive, it went and hid from the sun under peppermint candy. But the peppermint candy was the only shelter it had from the sun. And again, they're 20 parts per million. They're not going to kill them. They're just going to aggravate them.
I think I'm gonna get some of the oil too. I put some of the oil in every corner.
Brother,
And,
it is.
and we did across the frame list and in between them too is a good deal. It'll absorb right into the propolis or the bear cones you got in around. It'll absorb right into that, man. You're like, yeah, hold that for me.
I'm just gonna be real honest. It's not talk. It's not just, well, here's a solution that may work. Brother, for us, it is working. And we're not dealing with, once again, we're not dealing with just a few down here. We're dealing with hundreds at one time.
Ireland,
And like Earl
all
said,
over the
people
United States.
are picking up on it
Mm.
and showing that this
Mhm.
works.
It really
Yeah,
does.
'cause I got some more bee friends. I'm gonna make sure they get into it as well too, because I know they're gonna have the same problems.
Yes, sir. Tell them about it. And it's a huge relief being able to go out to your bees and not have the stress of going, are they slimed
How
out?
have I lost this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine being that bee. Imagine they don't have to gel them. They don't have to chase them. You know what? Let's go do bee stuff.
Yeah. You can
Yeah,
just
they're not stressed out and coming at you because they're mad.
seriously.
Yeah. Well, if there's a beetle in my house, I know about it. Them girls will aggravate me and girls will bump me in the head. They'll be like, you need to get over here and do something.
Yeah.
And
They
say
hunt
you
you
ain't
down,
doing your
Steve.
job.
I feel like that's how they do me. I mean, y'all probably have those same kind of experiences with them, but when I walk out the door and I get hit banging 2 or 3 times, there's a problem in the apiary that I need to fix. Almost always.
All right.
It works, brother. It's something that really, I put it like this. We bought We done the CDs like you're talking about. We filled them with diatomaceous earth. We bought the beetle barn things or whatever you call them, where you stick them between the frames. I mean, we tried everything under the sun to knock them out. But this extract, the peppermint extract, and the only thing that we done, and the only reason we done this is because we had an old timer telling us about wax moths, how they dealt with them back in the day was using eucalyptus. So we was like, well,
exactly why I started doing it.
Yeah, if the peppermint keeps the beetles out, then we'll just add. We only added 0.5 milliliters to a 2-ounce bottle of the eucalyptus oil, not much at all. But our whole thing was, well, if the peppermint will keep the beetles out, we know the eucalyptus will deter the wax moths. So maybe that'll kind of help on both ends. But either way, on the beetle portion, brother, it works, man.
I'm gonna find out, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, and
Well,
listen,
Jay-
you don't have to worry about overdoing it, because when I first started doing this, I was doing it with the bottle that you shook and drip the drop, drip the drop, drip the boom, and half a bottle came out right in the middle back part of the hive. Just whoosh, you know. And before I looked, and it was half of it. I dumped a 1/2 ounce pure peppermint oil extract right in the back of that hive, right on top of them. I'm talking thick hive, heavy hive. Put that lid back on them. And I said, I guess they're going to be breeding here in a minute. I couldn't tell it. They didn't do nothing.
All right.
They didn't do nothing. They put it around the grid. It's like they know what it is. Don't get rid of it. It's like they know that. I mean, hey, there's that stuff we use. Let's put it right here. It's crazy.
So
Why
in
do they
Earl,
leave it around the grid?
what's your
Yeah,
video where you break everything down, Earl? Far as it takes so many. Oh, how'd you put it? Yeah, so many microns or whatever it is to harm them, but there's not enough in the extract to harm the bees.
Right. And get this though, another thing. Think about it. If it's running those beavers off, big as they are, compared to a mite, remember how hard it is on them little old mites trying to breathe around that peppermint oil if they get it on. Because you want to know about peppermint oil, put a drop on your tongue. I don't recommend it, because I used to grow reapers and gold habaneros, and none of that was as hot as that peppermint oil when I put it in my mouth. And there wasn't no cooling it off either. It burnt me alive. It was basically. That stuff in pure form is abrasive. Whew.
So
My
basically,
breath smelled good, bro.
it'll take a whole lot to so-called overdose or harm the hive.
I don't know the amount, but I know they've done some studies trying to use it as a pesticide against bees, and the best they could do with their highest dose was 86%. Still had 86% survival. And so they was like, no, it's no good for killing bees. And so it was deemed, non-harmful to bees, non-lethal to bees. Because that study, they was trying to prove it as lethal to bees, but it turned out proving that it wasn't.
It'd be good too if it repel the ants.
I would think it would have to help, but I don't know. Ants a lot like a bee. They might like it too and use it. I don't know.
I mean, it makes
I
sense.
got a lot of diatomaceous earth, and I ain't afraid to jerk up. I'm not. I mean, I will put some permethrin around the bottom and on the ground if I need to get rid of them ants. But I'm pretty blessed. I don't really have a bad problem here with any of the major ant species. Like when we used to live down Wilmington, North Carolina, I've been red and black ants and those red ants. Those things will take over your house.
Now, we ain't so much had an issue with the little sugar ants for the most part, but the sugar ants was our telltale sign of that colony has collapsed because of those beetles.
Mm-hmm.
When we see no sugar ants,
9 times out of 10, you take and open up your box, and them sugar ants, they won't be bothering nobody. They'll be living over in the corner or up around the lid or something, over off to the shelf. It's just, I often wondered if could they be beneficial or very harmful. I don't know, but y'all ever notice that they kind of got their own little house in there with them? Sugar ants, I mean.
Where they just be kind of huddled up on one side in the hive, the ants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, 755 Media.
Most of ours would be like on the top of that inner cover. They wouldn't be so much down in the box, but it was like they would congregate a whole lot on the very top of that inner cover.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about, baby.
Going back a little bit here, Michael Buck asked, is extract and essential oils the same? I believe extract is a alcohol based, where an essential oil would be an oil based.
Yeah, and not only that, I'm glad you brought it up. The actual extract that is alcohol based actually has a higher potency level. In other words, if you were to use a drop of peppermint oil, you would only use a half a drop of peppermint extract. It's a little bit. It's not half like I just done. It's more like 3/4 to a quarter, but it's real close to that. It's just a little bit more powerful. So you have to cut it back if you're using the extract with any kind of recipes.
Yeah. The alcohol based wouldn't last as long as the oil based.
I use it in my fondants. I use it in my sugar syrups, and whenever I want to feed a patty, I don't think nothing of it. I just crush up some peppermint candy, coat that patty, throw it in there. I don't know anybody that's ever had a beetle lay eggs in them when they do that. I can feed probably 20, 24, 7, 12.
Yeah, I think Matt and Sarah was doing that, putting crushed peppermint on their patties when they were putting them in the hive.
The year Bob was doing it, he had a batch, and he actually put it in his patties, and he had excellent look out of it, especially when he fed it, kind of like you feed Hive Alive. He was making them in little Ziploc baggies and things. I thought he had a good thing going there.
I think it took about 30 to 35 peppermint candies, crushed up, made a good cup, a measuring cup. And that's what we put into our pollen patty mix. Now, disclaimer, don't let your woman know that you're using her stand mixer. She may get a little but mix it in good, and the same thing. We wouldn't putting out big slabs of pollen patty.
So, how long?
Say it like that, I can't hear it.
How long does pollen patty usually last? If you don't have a chance to put it in. Now, I've got some that I haven't used in almost a year. It's been in the freezer.
So me like they'll be all right. I've kept them 2 years in the freezer. In the freezer, I've kept them 2 years in freezer. Mine I have. Not store-bought, but mine.
Crush you some up, Jay. And stick on that the patties you got. Get you a hammer, whatever you need to. Just crush a good handful of them up, and if nothing else, just smash them down in.
Worst case scenario, It's a $2 experiment on it, baby. Sorry, I didn't mean to walk on you like that, though.
You good, Captain? Go ahead. But we didn't see any issue with larvae up underneath the pollen patties whenever we added whenever we crushed them up. Now, whenever we didn't, it wouldn't take but just a couple of days. You go out there and lift that rascal up, and buddy, you'd see them little larvae trying to get away from you pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, they're nasty.
Instead of using the your wife's stand mixer, maybe you should use your bar blender.
Coffee
Man,
grinder.
Can get one of those smoothie machines and putting these patties in the smoothie machine where they got that churn in there and just put the whole news in. I don't know if it's working or not. Seemed to me like it would.
Bob was talking about doing that with his cream honey.
Yeah. Bob comes up with some cool stuff, man.
Got to use the dough hook with the creamed honey.
I'm still debating whether to make some cream honey or not.
I've never done that.
Because if I do, I need to get it done before April hit. Because that's when I'll be selling this in April.
I just take my
on purpose. Sorry, go ahead, baby.
I just take my crystallized honey and put it in a container and call it creamed honey.
Well, I tell you what, Jake, you probably find out that creamed honey would probably sell fairly quick, and you can sell it
sure it will. I'm sure
twice the price. You know, half pound for $10, and you'll get it.
So you're selling that one to the kids. No, it didn't go bad. It went good.
Yeah, that's true.
You need to check out
positive.
Put it in the refrigerator. Don't put it in the freezer. Just put it in the refrigerator. You'll be good.
Yes, sir.
Check out old Flower Street Farms. That's the man to talk to on doing them cream honeys and stuff. That fella has pretty well got it down to an art.
What's his name again? What's his name?
Flower Street Farm. Flower Street Farm. Getting tongue tied.
Yeah, he's smarter than you.
Is he the one was talking about buying the slush maker to make the whip the cream?
No, that was
Bob Walker.
Well, guys, I'm gonna jump out of here. I guess y'all had enough of mine. I schizophrenia. So, but I appreciate you having me here. I broke the record. First live all year long.
Well, we enjoyed it, and you're welcome back anytime.
It was good to see
you.
You're good to see you, Earl.
Thanks for the invite. Y'all too. We're probably sick of hearing from you, ain't you, Tim? We talk on the phone a lot, me and Tim and
Well, we have some good fellowship on that phone, and I appreciate every moment of it, bro.
We do.
Or we do.
You ain't got a lot of me to be my friend. Y'all know I love you.
Hey, we ain't telling no tall tale on that one.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, baby. And y'all have a good evening, and I'll be watching the rest of it. I'll be watching. So, y'all have a good evening, good night. God bless you.
God bless you too, brother.
I see Cooking and Vibe. She's saying she mixed some of my honey up already. She put it in a blender to do it herself.
She mixed it with hazelnut. Probably pretty good.
No,
that was DC that said that.
She said she just whipped it with honey. She used her electric whisker to do it.
She made whipped honey.
Yeah, whipped honey.
One thing I want to tell you, Jigs, I've actually been enjoying this crossover between everybody, the homesteaders that are trying to do their own garden and live naturally, and the bees. I think it's going good because, a lot of them have been concerned or thinking about bees and how we all really need the bees. So I've actually been enjoying it.
Right.
It's opened up a whole new level here, I think.
Right. There was a whole bunch of people that wasn't gardeners until you had some gardeners come in and start. Hey, you need to do your own garden. You need to do your own garden. You need some seeds. We'll send you some seeds. Just start with something. Get a tomato plant. Get anything. Just get a plant. And it's been growing.
Well, it's interesting to know too as well how folks they got their own little tricks in that homesteading part that I wouldn't know about. I mean, we can do our gardening, and things like that, and be enough to survive. That ain't no problem. But folks have these little old tricks and tips that they figured out through the years, and you go, just the same thing in the beekeeping end. Hey, I'm gonna try that and use that. See if it's gonna help me down here.
Like last summer, I made myself some SIPs, self-irrigating planters. It's water it once a week.
I plan on doing something.
There's one homesteader I was looking at, watching for a while. It wasn't hydroponics, but what he did is he had the planter above fish, an aquarium of fish, and then their bio and stuff that they dropped, he siphoned back off into the plants. It filtered the water back down to them.
Right.
So it was actually a filter, and it produced the potassium and all that stuff for the plants. And I thought that was a cool idea, but when I started looking at it, it's really expensive to build.
Yeah. We got one guy in our his name is Regenerative Wayne, and that he has a big fishing area, and he's running it through his plants and stuff. Hey, it's working for him. It's working for him.
Well, it's like someone making worm castings out of their all their biodegradable stuff. It's the same principle. It's putting those nutrients back into the soil and into you filter the water and then feed it back to the plants. So, I mean, it makes a complete biological cycle.
Hey, it's nice having your own little manufacturer. You don't have to go out and buy nothing.
Yeah.
Michael Buck is talking about a hot box out of an old camper refrigerator, and with a thermal controller to control the heat lamps.
Yeah, he's talking about using the Inkbird device. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Inkbird device is the thermal controller.
Take them with nectars.
I have a 10 cubic foot refrigerator that came out of my camper last summer when the manufacturer replaced it, and it's sitting in my workshop waiting to hook up the Inkbird device.
Yeah, Bob and Charlie have done the same thing. Actually, Charlie started talking about that a while back. He has a warming box too, for the same principle, set up with an Inkbird and a heater.
It'll be my second one because I have a wooden box with the Inkbird controller on it that I'm using now.
And you just, Mr. Lewis, you're using that for a warmer?
Yeah. Using the incubator as a warmer. Okay, that'd work.
Yeah, I can use it for decrystallizing, and I can turn it up high enough that I can use it for melting wax.
That baby's going up there then.
You just put a filter device in there. You can actually strain that stuff out when you heat it up. It should probably come out pretty clean.
Yeah, I just haven't done that yet.
That's an interesting concept.
Yep.
You know, it'd be like a solar wax melter, except for you're using a heater, but you know, not direct heat.
It can get quite hot in there. I have a video of where I left the thermal sensor outside the box and literally cooked probably about 2 or 3 gallons of honey.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could use a heating mat on that stuff.
Gardening. I've used one of the gardening mats wrapped with a towel around the bucket, and it's kept it. It's heated it up enough to where I had some hard crystallized honey. It made it where I could work with it to make creamed honey, and I had to let it sit for a couple of days to do that. You know, so it doesn't get hot enough. But it does help if you have some crystallized honey you need to use to make, you know, like I was making creamed honey with it. It broke it up enough I can make creamed honey out of it.
Let me see. This is the most crystallized honey I got right there. And that's for the same reason I don't touch this one. Don't use it for nothing until it crystallized more.
Well, was that a 2 pound jar?
Sometimes they won't, Kristen. What
quart?
Well, it's a quart.
32 ounces. 32 ounces.
Yeah.
So you might have enough in the bottom of that thing for the starter seed.
Yeah, good. Just for that bottle, yes, I believe it is. Just for that bottle.
Well, what you do is you build the seed and you let it sit. It'll crystallize, and then what you start doing is, and then all that will crystallize, and then you can use one pound to like 10 pounds, a ratio to make your creamed honey with.
This is what Brian sent us, fella we was telling you about, Jay.
Right.
That's his blueberry stuff there. Yeah.
Yes.
Blueberry.
Hey, and I got tons of blueberries.
Well, you have to use freeze dried. What I got here, that's the peanut butter one that I've made.
That's the one I want. That's the one I wants to make, peanut butter.
I want to try that now.
What I did is I went to Sam's and bought that. You go to the health food area, and they have all the nutrients and stuff you add to protein shakes in the morning.
Yeah, the peanut butter powder.
Yeah, and I got the peanut butter powder, and that's what I use for it. It doesn't mess with the moisture content in the honey.
Okay.
Actually, it pulls moisture. It pulls some out of it, to tell you the truth.
I'm glad you tell me about that, because I was thinking about some Jiffy.
Well, if you're making a peanut butter sandwich with it, that's one thing, and honey, that works.
No, I wanted to last. Nah, I'm glad
the oils in the peanut butter, the actual peanut butter are probably sour if it sits too long.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't thinking about the oil in the peanut butter. Kim Stage, how you doing?
You just getting all
Drawing out the box. How you doing, man?
That's awesome.
You the same now?
Yeah, I got up like 89 people earlier when Bob was on. That's the most I've had. So
if you didn't share out, you still had less.
Yep.
And we finally figured out how to do it 3/4 of the way through the show.
We do.
But Mark Miller's in here. I didn't see Mark. Sorry about that, Mark.
She said, "Give me my credit where it belongs at. Give my credit."
There we go.
Mark.
Yes, sir.
Hi,
Hey, Mark.
how you doing?
Doing all right.
Good. Everybody cold?
No, man.
Hey.
Yeah.
Y'all down
I
south,
don't
man.
play cold.
That ain't fair.
Like it got cold for us. It's almost 30 right now.
Shoot, I'm still at 40 something.
It's 51 degrees where I'm at.
Ooh, that'd be nice. I got the wood stove going out here in the shop. Got the propane heater going.
Probably got some snow on the ground too, right?
No, it tried to snow, but it didn't stick. Just north of here, about 50 miles, they got a lot of snow. I coming across Missouri yesterday and took me all day. I-70 got shut down. A 20-car pile up. It was a mess.
It's 43. Let's go.
It is cold, Jeremy. 43
Yes.
is cold, Bubba, to us.
Down here.
Well, I'm at 45, but ain't cold.
Shoot.
Humidity's what gets me.
Yeah.
Well, I heard y'all talking about gardening, and I had to jump in here. That's something I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Gardening and bees. That's it for me.
That's it for me. Hunting and fishing.
we found that
Now you're
finding
starting something else. Now you want to talk about hunting. That's a whole nother range. But that's something else I love to do too.
Yeah, we're just finding that the crossover between homesteaders and or people with gardens are looking into bees. So that's what we started playing with here. You know, I have anyways.
That's what got me started it in a way, gardening, and I'd go out in the yard and you couldn't even find a bee. Wasn't no bees nowhere. And that's when I started getting interested in bees, just for my garden.
I hope you ain't like my brother. I got my brother interested in bees. Yeah, I want some bees. I want bees. This one. He got so many bees. But I said, you don't realize the bees is not staying in your yard. You might have 10 bees that be in your yard. The rest of them come out and up. They don't just fly around. They come out and up.
Yeah.
But you have other bees coming to investigate the bees you do have.
Right.
So you do get bees from other places too. So they're trying to figure out where the mother bees are from.
Well, I know before I got bees, I would plant purple oil peas. And just wouldn't do very good. And after I got bees, it's just like they took off. They were getting pollinated, I guess. Made a big difference.
DCB, he will be my dinner. He will be my dinner.
Did you ever send that to the freezer camp?
Not yet, but oh man, it's not as easy as it used to be for me. But he will find the freezer.
Well, and two, y'all quit. We're on TV.
I don't care. I don't care how many animals I get. Sheep, I will never. I told my grandson, if they ask you what kind of animal you want, you better say anything but sheep.
Oh yeah.
Sheep are the dumbest animals ever.
I knew he was going there with that.
I took and bought.
But they're so soft and cuddly.
I bought a big bale of alfalfa hay, put that out there for him. I put a new cover over his sleeping area and all that stuff. I came back 2 days later. He pulled all the hay out and he's just stomping all over it, got mud all up in it. I said, okay, you ain't getting no more hay. So my grandson, go out and feed him. I said, just give him one scoop of food and that's it. But then he likes chewing on the tarp. He eats the actual tarp that's supposed to cover him from the weather.
You sure he ain't half goat?
My goats didn't eat no tarp. The goats ate my barn, but they didn't eat the tarp.
Usually the goats are the one eating everything.
If you got goats, make sure your barn is metal. If it's wood, even though you feed them, it's still gonna eat on the barn.
It's gonna be toothpicks in the morning, huh?
I'm telling you. I took and I put, now I didn't have any metal on it. They start eating on the door. Then I got a big window in the front. They start eating in front of the windows, start eating on the side. I took and put a metal along the whole bottom. They say, you ain't smart. They get up on their hoof and they eat above the metal. I said, man. Then I had some Great Pyrenees and pit bull mix. So I opened it up so that the puppies could be in there. Goats went in there. They start eating up everything in there. They start eating the floor up. And then what they didn't eat up, that fella that looked like him right there. I guess you know what I'm talking to because he leaned forward to the camera. Yeah. One of your friends. One of your friends had sex with my Great Pyrenees. And they came out looking like you, but they were tearing up everything.
DC, ain't that what you got? Them how do you say that? Pyrenees?
Great
Big old
Pyrenees?
dogs? I think DC's got a couple of them dogs. They be pretty dogs now, but they big.
It's like Jasper trying to get his view time again.
You gotta have some property. I got 5 acres and that's not enough property for them. They need roaming room.
Are they I wouldn't say so much a herding dog, but a protective dog over a herd?
They protect the other animals.
Okay.
But when you're in the city, don't have them dogs. Don't have the dogs in the city.
They also you got asses will protect your property too.
Yeah. I'm thinking about getting some miniature ones.
They're so cute.
Just it's time for dog talk.
Time for dog talk. Yeah,
I did a video already. I did a RIP on my dog last Saturday. He was 48 years old, and he finally gave up the ghost.
No, poor fella. We had to do that probably about 3 weeks ago to our lab and border collie mix. She got a bunch of cancers on her, and we tried to let her live out her days as long as she could, but it got time, and we had to bite the bullet and take her down to the vet.
Yeah. Now most of my dogs, my goats, chickens, everything is buried out there in my backyard. This dog is the only one that he was too much of a family to be buried in the backyard. We had to take him to the vet, and they took care of him.
Yeah.
You about like us, got a pet cemetery out there. Dogs, cats, chickens.
Hey, my ground is very fertile.
10,000 years from now, they're gonna be digging up out checking that stuff out. So I wonder what this guy was doing out here.
They ain't gonna last that long. Hey, if they check, they might find some trackers out there, because I always had the tracker put inside my dog's tail, so they might find a few of them out there.
We had our little Shih Tzu pass away last year, and I got a 4x6 granite stone to mark it as a grave marker.
Nice.
Well, you get attached to them old, especially get a good dog. I mean, they your family.
Yeah.
Jasper, he got to see him. He has definitely made himself at home.
He's being part of the live chat tonight.
Oh, that joker knows when we go on live. I can sit here and watch YouTube videos of people And him and Stella, the other one over there, they play and carry on. But for some reason, he has figured out when that camera sits in front of us, I got to get here and get my shot too, I reckon.
And he's right in the middle of it.
Dog is 120 pounds.
The small
Yeah. Growing out the box here, my bluebird brings a lot of bees around too. I got 22 feet of blueberries on this side of my house. I had bees, too many bees.
Well, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but having them bees in your yard, and if you do a garden of any kind, and if the bees are going to pollinate on whatever the floral is coming off that garden, you're going to double the yield
Yes.
versus
Yeah.
not having them out there pollinating.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about them. I'm not going to complain about them. The only thing that bothered me are the what's that? The carpenter bees and all that stuff. They come up on my front porch and all that, trying to dig in the wood and all that stuff.
Now, Jay, we figured this out on a customer not too long ago, and the fella that owns the feed store told us about this. It doesn't harm the bees, anything like that. It's more of a deterrent, the way he put it. But you can get it at a feed store or at a co-op, but it's called Biothin. And you mix it in a pump sprayer.
No,
Biothin.
Bifen.
Put it in the chat so I didn't know how to spell it. But you mix it up in a pump sprayer and say, you know, you got yellow pine out there. You ain't got no treated lumber. And you know they're going to tear into that untreated lumber, especially some good old yellow pine, pretty quick. But you spray that on that yellow pine or whatever the raw wood is, let it soak in. Them carpenter bees, they won't touch it.
I could use that.
All right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up this evening because my stepdaughters came home and wife's probably getting hungry. So I'm gonna shut it down, guys. I enjoyed it, and be looking to see y'all next Saturday, hopefully.
We enjoyed it too. Good
I
seeing
don't make
everybody.
no promises, but I'll be here if I can.
Come
All
on in.
right, brother.
Good to see y'all.
Hey, good night, y'all.
Right,
Good
take
All right,
care,
y'all
Mr.
have a
Lewis.
good one.
All right.
Love you
Bye,
guys.
y'all.
Love y'all too, brother.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Come on, stream. Yeah, I'm still here. Is the after party? What? Nah. So what have you been working on? You've been planning on for your bees, Mark? Your queens?
Where am I at right now?
No, I was asking
Deb?
where you think. No, I was asking about what your plans were for your queens making queens this year. I know it's too early right
Well,
now. But I was talking.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people contact me, and I've not been taking up any money as far as orders go. But I've been telling them, you know, look, I'll contact you a couple of weeks before I know your name's coming up. That way you can send me the money and I can give you a date when they're going to come in. You know, I hate to take any money up, not knowing how you're going to come out of winter. You know,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't want to do that. And then that not get the customers what I want to give them. You know,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. I'd understand. It's a hard feeling if you know you promised something and it ain't there. That's why I
right,
haven't done
right.
anything. I haven't done anything with posting anything about nukes yet because I've not done it. One and two, I'm not there yet. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I want to get through the critical mass, and then uh, the hard part right now is really my most critical time. You know, we've had a warm up. Now it's cold.